You're listening to The Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans. Blood is good.
Tire face, a mask of blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much blood coming out of the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gas, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, the mouth, the cheeks swollen, and he's still going.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight. We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush. Oh, yeah.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love the strippers. I'm okay.
You're serious? You're serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated.
Just some push it from me right now. For the interview? Yes. Let those your hands go. Get out of here, Bird. Go home. What next?
You want the table for us to please? You not even honest? You want the table for us to please?
BoxingVoice.com.
This is why we use the word sensation.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Boxing Voice. And today's going to be Miguel Cotto versus Sergio Martinez post-fight show. And what a night. The main event made up for the undercard tremendously. We witnessed history. I'm here like a man. I'm here to eat my crow. I was wrong. And I think this one hurts more than Broner Maidana, because I was so sure that Martinez was going to beat Cotto. Everything, just physics alone, he was the bigger, stronger man. I just thought he took shots from Chavez. Like everyone, scored Chavez 11-1. But if you go back and watch that fight like I did Friday night, with James, Chavez landed a lot of shots. You could argue a couple of rounds that he won in between there, and he was hitting Martinez with huge right hands to the head. But Cotto was able to hurt him easily. I was shocked, Beeb, and you were right. You were right. I kneel before Zod right now. You were right.
Well, none of us here on the Boxing Voice are fortune tellers, and anything can happen in boxing, and we're not always going to be right. But I just really felt that I presented a good argument last Thursday. A lot of things that I said I thought were valid points. And I don't want to take anything away from Sergio Martinez, because I give him all the credit in the world for a few things. Number one, this is a man who took up boxing at the age of 20, basically for recreational purposes. He wasn't like the typical young kid boxing at 10, 12 years old, starting out as an amateur, learning the game at a young age. This is a guy that picked it up basically as a hobby. And then 2 years later, he turned pro. So based off of his background, to go as far as he did and become a world champion, I give him all the credit in the world for that. But that's all well and good. But when you look at the big picture and you just see this man, Sergio Martinez, with all due respect, nobody even knew who he was until 2010. Had a good little run there for about maybe 2 years, but then after that he started to decline after that Paul Williams rematch. I started seeing the writing on the wall, and I started seeing a lot of flaws, a lot of balance issues, just a lot of things. The hands down, obviously everyone knows that one, but also leaning in, head like face first, having his head like go past his knees. It's a lot of balance things, and kind of throwing that jab from the waist and having it be more of an arm punch instead of stepping in with it. Just a lot of things, and I felt he was a sucker for a left hook. I could just see it, looking at his style, that he was a sucker for a left hook. And lo and behold, last night, as I suspected, the left hook was going to be a major weapon, both to the body and the head, and it was. But, the one thing that got me about this whole fight was basically people were saying that a 40%, a 50%, a 30%, a 20% Sergio Martinez was going to beat 100% Miguel Cotto. And to me, that was the most ludicrous part of the whole thing. People just denigrating Cotto and saying that, you know, he had no shot of winning this fight. And I just couldn't understand that. That kind of took me for a loop. And I must admit, I didn't think Cotto was going to win every round. I didn't think Cotto was going to knock him down 3 times in the first round. But that just goes to show how good of a fighter Cotto is. I mean, you have to give Cotto full credit for this victory. Obviously, you know, you could look at Sergio Martinez's knees, and definitely that's going to factor into the fight. I don't think he was 100%, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and pretend that all of a sudden that he's 100% now when I told you before the fight I didn't think he was. So I'm going to stand by the fact that he wasn't 100%. But with all that being said, you know, if he was 100%, Cotto still would have given him a run for his money. He possibly still could have beat him. So based off what I saw last night, because Cotto hurt him, and he won every round. I mean, he hurt him early. He was really hurt in that first round, and admittedly, he said he never recovered from that. So I thought it was, you know, it was a very entertaining fight, given the fact that not many people thought that Cotto was going to do what he did. So it was a pleasant surprise. It kind of made you think after the fight, okay, now we have a new player here at middleweight, a guy who can generate a lot of interest in this division and really come up with some more interesting, more highly lucrative fights, that as opposed to what Sergio Martinez could have done, with all due respect, because no one was going to fight Sergio Martinez if Sergio Martinez beat Cotto, except for Gennady Golovkin. Other than that, you know, I don't think none of the big money guys would have stepped up to the plate to fight Sergio Martinez. I could be wrong. Maybe Canelo would have done it. I don't know. But this just makes the division a lot more interesting, having Cotto as the middleweight champion. I'm not sure if he's going to stay up there. He may make a defense. He may, you know, if Canelo could get by Lara, he could defend against Canelo. We'll see what happens.
Well, I tried to interrupt you because you were speaking of the devil, and that being Gennady Golovkin. I was at the press conference yesterday at noontime in New York City, and I asked him, and he is more interested in this fight. He wants the winner of this fight. He does not want to move up right now. He still wants to unify, and his English has gotten tremendous, by the way.
Great. It's good to hear.
Yeah, so my question to you, which I don't know if you're going to be able to answer, and if you start to answer, I may cut you off because Boogie Down Sean is calling from Dominican Republic, and actually he's on, so we'll get back to that thought. That thought is going to be, what should Cotto do? Should he take the Gennady Golovkin? Would HBO even throw enough money at him to make that fight, or should he, because he's not tied to anybody, make a title fight with Peter Quillin in New York City again and just make money? Because shit, if he could beat Martinez, he could beat Quillin.
Yeah, I think he could beat Quillin. And you know, the Golovkin fight is very interesting. I think I would.
Like I said, hold that thought. You'll
okay,
answer.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's get him off because he's international. Boogie Down Sean, I'm gonna go to you right now, baby. Let me just properly introduce you because you had it right.
It's a maniac. It's a maniac. The maniac is running wild like he's never ran before.
Oh, yeah. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Well, you know, with that being said, man, absolutely no disrespect to Sergio, man. I love, admire, and respect that man. A true champion, a true throwback fighter, one of my favorite fighters. In fact, my second favorite fighter. So I can never, ever talk bad about the guy. You know, I didn't get to see the fight because obviously I'm out here on vacation. But from when I told Cotto put an ass whooping on him, and the excuses I saw on Twitter was the knee. Now, let's get something correct here. We knew this coming into the fight. The Sergio's hasn't been the best. You know, if you looked at his last 4 fights, he's been declining every fight. One of the major issues from the Chavez Jr. fight to the Murray was the knee. On my show last Wednesday, me and Dream broke it down, and then I came on your show the next day, and me and Habib was trying to tell you guys, Vanessa, Rob, you crazy. Even with you guys knew this, y'all still gave Cotto no shot. Y'all gave him absolutely no shot. Not saying, well, you know, maybe if nothing, he's gonna get flatlined. Or picking Cotto because his pride. No, I understood. It's a science, man. This is a science. That's what they call it, the sweet science. You understand? Cotto, for one, I told you on the show, mentally, this guy with Roach is just, he's a new fighter. Now, does that mean he could be everybody at 160? No, absolutely not. But to him, mentally, physically, he's a different fighter. And I guess you saw that yesterday. If he fucking dropped Sergio 3 times and then made him quit, I don't give a fuck. Nobody gave Cotto a chance. But me, Beeb, and Dream, and a couple of us. But I seen this coming, man. If you guys stop letting the hate, y'all talk about, oh, Boogie Down, you let your hate blind you when it comes to Floyd. No, I don't. When it comes to Cotto, a lot of y'all let y'all hate blind you. If you would have, y'all should have saw this coming. Now, if I didn't think he was going to stop Sergio, I'll be honest. I thought he was going to whoop him for 12 rounds, but not stop him. With that being said, Ness, eat your crow with your mustard and your ketchup and your toasted bread because you stay hating for my man, and he came and he took care of business. There's no excuses. Why Sergio said on 24/7, I can't make this up. Oh, my knees 100%. This is the best I felt in a long time. Lou DiBella said the same thing. Sedimento said the same thing. His trainer, everybody said it. You understand why he said on the first episode 24/7, Cotto made a mistake taking this fight. Dogs, it was over. Cotto dug himself a grave taking this fight. It was the opposite. He flatlined Sergio. I also heard after the fight, Sergio made no excuses, gave nothing but credit, and that's why I love him. And this is the kind of fighters I like, the Miguel Cottos, the Sergio Martinez. Because these guys fight whoever, and don't make no excuses, man. Win, lose, or draw, you got to love and respect these fighters. These are the fighters that keep our sport alive, man. Respect these guys. You don't have to like them. You have to respect them. And that's what Cotto does, man. He's fought the best in this era, now fighting Sergio. B-Hop, that's the only person he's missing. Now, obviously, he's too hot for him. But if they were close enough, Cotto fight B-Hop. But once again, man, thank you for putting me on this. It's always a pleasure. Boxing Voice, my family. Tune in Wednesdays to the Boxing Roundtable. Me and Dream. Beeb, we did it. We told them. Ness, I'll see you Saturday if you're going to be at the Ruslan Algieri fight.
All right, brother. We got a lot of callers, so we're going to continue to go to the streets, man, because it's just a lot of you guys. 757, you're live on a Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Antonio from VA. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, Antonio.
Yeah, man. Where did we start? It was a historical night for Cotto, man. He got the job done. Controlled the ring. That was surprising to me. I mean, we could talk about Sergio knee all day, but one thing Cotto came out and did that was crazy surprising to me was he controlled the entire ring. Like, that's supposed to be what Sergio do, bounce in the middle of the ring, handle business, moving on his toes. But, I mean, Cotto made him go left the whole fight. I mean, I ain't see Sergio make a right turn almost the whole fight. Cotto kept making him go left. He was circling away from Cotto's left hand and still getting hit with every left hook. It was crazy, man. There wasn't the Martinez we normally see, but at the same time, I mean, Cotto made him feel the power early. He was more physical. He had more shorter, compact punches. Sergio never got in his groove, never really put his hands down. You never really felt that Sergio swag that he brings to the ring. Maybe once or twice he talked a little bit of shit to Cotto in the middle of the ring. But other than that, he got dominated, and I don't know, man. I was surprised he quit on the stool. I didn't think he took that bad of a beating in the 9th round, but I knew Cotto was going for it. You could tell midway through the 9th when Cotto, started to put it on him, Cotto was probably thinking, okay, he said he was going to knock me out in the 9th. I'm going to see can I knock his ass out in the 9th round. And he quit on it. He stopped on the stool. So, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, it was a good performance.
Well, Antonio, as always, we enjoy your calls, brother. I'm going to get on to the next caller because we have a lot today. But, yo, Cotto did so well, and Antonio mentioned controlling the ring, and he was doing that with his feet. He would reset with his feet, man. I can't believe what I saw. He was coming over the top of Martinez's jab with the left hook all day. I was just in complete shock. 914. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, what's up, man? My name is David from the Bronx.
All right, David. What's up, brother? What's on your mind? Talk to us.
Well, I watched the fight last night, and what I saw was, honestly, I saw a Sergio. The second he came out there, you could see that right knee was stiff. Like, you could see it. First knockdown happens, gets caught with a left hook to the body, goes in the scramble and try to, I think it was a body shot that hurt him first. But then he kind of gets caught with like a cuffing left hook to the back of the head, and he goes down on his right knee, and you could see him grimace automatically. Then the next one, the next knockdown, he actually gets caught in a kind of Matthew Macklin situation where his right knee is over Cotto's, I want to say, left knee, and he's tangled up with Cotto, and he goes over, and Cotto throws a punch, but it kind of misses. It kind of like grazes him, but misses, and it's mostly just the body, and he's off balance. And then you can see when he steps on his right knee, it kind of like wobbles, and then he goes down. No excuse. I mean, Cotto did what he had to do. Cotto did what he had to do. He pretty much looked the same as he did in the Delvin Rodriguez fight. More offensive than usual, I would suppose. But let's be honest. I mean, Sergio couldn't get any kind of leverage on his shots. No leverage on his shots. He was reaching. He couldn't even extend past his knee because he couldn't really step onto his knee. Every time he tried to press, he was overreaching. And not just overreaching because Cotto was smart. He got out of the way and he stepped back when he needed to. He was just out of range when he needed to be. But Sergio couldn't even advance on his front leg. He couldn't even advance fast enough. He would just kind of just give up after his right jab, straight left. He kind of just backed off from it, and he couldn't even come forward. So I mean, respect is due to Cotto. Martinez has been calling him out for the past 3 or so years. He didn't take the fight then. And, he gets with Roach, and I'm pretty sure, I mean, when it comes down to it, Roach is smart. He did this with Shane Mosley. He's done it before. I don't know why it's shocking to people, but, people see he sees some things in certain fighters. He sees certain declines in certain fighters. He thinks he knows what these declines are, and he capitalizes on it. You know what I mean? One fight in with Roach, and all of a sudden Cotto's taking the Martinez fight. He got him at a perfect time. The problem was people thought that Martinez, even with no knee, was going to be able to somehow, I don't know what, implement like a Margarito Provatnikov, come straight forward.
Wait a minute. Let me stop you. Caller, let me stop you for a minute because we need to make one thing clear. Who did you pick?
Honestly, I didn't have any pick because I didn't believe Sergio. I didn't believe Sergio was healthy.
Yeah, but you're coming off kind of.
So I didn't really know.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that you're coming off is as if the world believed that Martinez could do it even without a knee, but you didn't make a pick. Either you were part of that world that believed it, or you were part of the world that didn't believe it. But you should have made a pick. But you broke it down fairly well. But we have way too many callers. I got to keep it moving. If you stay on, I can't come back.
Yeah.
All right. Don't hang up. I'm going to put you on mute, and you can continue to listen, and I'll come back. I just want to get this first wave off because it's a ton of you guys. All right, we're going to go to the next one really quick because we want to run through everybody.
Introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
good evening, guys. I was very happy to watch last night's fights because I picked Cotto. Congratulations to him. Martinez, you had a wonderful career, but honestly, it's time to head off into the sunset and wait for your call into the Boxing Hall of Fame, because that's where you're going to be. Your career was fantastic considering the way it started. Picked it up at age 20. He's had a fabulous 19-year career, almost 20 years. But your career is over, buddy. And congratulations to Miguel Cotto. And man, do I want to be in his shoes. He's got multiple options. He can take multiple fights. The rest of the card, it sucked to high heaven, but when you get to see boxing history, it makes up for it. So congratulations to Miguel.
All right. Good call from Robbie, as always. 718, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Picked it up at age 20.
718.
Fabulous 19-year.
I'll come back to you. Get your radio off. 856, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
It's Chris from Jersey, and my wife got my 5 kids downstairs, so I'll be quick, man. First of all, let me eat my crow because, I thought just like Ness did that Martinez was going to destroy Cotto. And, I'm Puerto Rican, man, so I wanted Cotto to win. But I just didn't see it. Seeing his fight with Trout and his record at 154, and even what he did in his last, let's say, 5-6 fights at 147, it just, the logic, like what Sean was saying, is there was no hate. Is if you looked at it objectively, Sergio was the bigger guy, in my mind, the stronger guy, the quicker guy, the better boxer. So in my mind, and with Cotto struggling against Trout, and his record, again, in his last 7 fights, he was 4-3 or something like that. But I just couldn't see it happen, and I especially couldn't see him hurting Sergio the way he did. I mean, it was like he touched Sergio and he hurt him. Sergio's a guy fighting. I mean, again, I called a couple weeks back talking about when he fought Chavez. Chavez weighed like 180 pounds when he fought that man. But one thing that Sean said that I 100% agree with, and people can say whatever they want about Sergio and his knee and him being over the hill. Cotto with Roach is a completely different fighter, man. I think that Cotto, and I think they might have said this on the broadcast, but if you look throughout Cotto's career, in the beginning he had Evangelista, his uncle, who really was just a local trainer in Puerto Rico. I mean, he had some quality fighters, Cotto's brother, and probably some other prospects in PR. And then he bounced around from guys, he had the Cuban guy, I forgot his name, Regan Dow, the guy that trains all the Cuban guys, and tried to change him, change how he fought. And I think that him and Roach have found something. And one thing I noticed, and you tell me if I'm wrong, when they fought last night, Cotto historically has gassed out, right or wrong.
Yeah.
And last night, I know it was only the 10th round, and there was a few rounds to go, but that man wasn't tired at all. That man looked like a 15-round fighter last night. So, listen, I'm getting killed on Twitter. I bowed down to Beeb. I bowed down to Vic because I said it was going to be a destruction. Listen, I said even if Sergio couldn't move, he was going to stand in front of Miguel and beat the shit out of him, because that's just what I thought, man. If you add everything together, that's what it looked like it was going to be. But it wasn't. Props to Miguel Cotto. Props to Sergio for not making no excuses, and props to Miguel for taking the fight. Because let's not forget, Sergio ain't only been calling out Miguel Cotto. Sergio been calling. He tried to get Mayweather. He tried to get Pacquiao, and he said he would come down for all 3 of them. And the only one, whether it was now or whether it was 3 years ago, the only one that came up to do it was Miguel Cotto. So Miguel Cotto now he's at the top of the food chain, right there with Mayweather and Pacquiao. He's the lineal middleweight champion of the world. He could pick whoever he wants, and it was a historic night. And that's pretty much it, man. You guys keep it up, and then hopefully I'll get some better picks this year, man, because I'm having a fucked up year. I don't know what's going on with me this year, man.
Don't feel bad, man. So
It happens, man. Everyone hits a snag, but you'll be back. You'll get a good run going for yourself. Don't worry about it. That's how it works.
He makes so much sense, man. I mean, Cotto is in a position. I mean, his career has breathed new life now. Vic, I mean, you've been on for a minute. You were live. Talk to me. You picked him.
Well, I switched my pick when that whole knee brace thing happened because, like I said, I didn't think if they didn't think it was that important, they would have never made a big deal about it. And I think what Cotto did yesterday was pretty much what Freddie Roach said he would do. He'd act like the bigger man, and he'd back Sergio Martinez up, which he did. And a lot of people were saying that Martinez didn't need to move, but that's Martinez's game plan. I mean, he gets leverage on his shots, those counters, and not having a good knee or whatever it is obviously played a role, certainly no doubt. Don't make no mistake, those body shots from Miguel Cotto were doing some damage too. And Martinez said it himself, that Cotto called him cold in the first round, and he never recovered. So, and credit to Martinez, because he didn't make any excuses. He didn't say it was my knee. He didn't say anything. He just said Miguel Cotto was the better man on Saturday night.
Well, technically, he didn't say shit because he didn't show up to the press conference.
Well, I'm reading from the quotes and stuff like that.
Well, at the post-fight interview, he was very gracious, and he gave Cotto a lot of credit.
Oh, I didn't get to hear the broadcast.
Yeah. But, you know, one thing to bring up is I thought the knee was going to play a factor, obviously. That was a big determining factor in me picking Cotto. But based off what I saw last night, and even before I watched the fight last night, I still think Cotto would have always given him problems because of his style. Because with all due respect to Paul Williams, even in the first fight, whether you thought Martinez won that fight or not, Martinez didn't look good. And his balance did not look good. He was getting caught with a lot of shots in that fight. His defense looked porous even back then. So I don't know. I think this always would have been a good fight. I mean, obviously you can't guarantee that Cotto would have beat him if he was 100%. But there's an argument to be made that he may have, judging by the way he dominated him last night. I mean, he hurt him with every shot he threw. And obviously, bad knee, good knee or bad knee, if you're hurting someone with every shot you throw, you got to give that person that's throwing those shots some credit. I mean, like I said before, Miguel Cotto can get anyone's attention with his punching power. He's not a soft puncher by any means. He doesn't have a 75% knockout ratio for nothing, and he's knocked out some decent guys too. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, he's fought faster guys before. I mean, Paulo Malignaggi was faster than him supposedly. Judah was faster than him. You know, Mayweather was faster than him, and he hung in there with all those guys, and he gave each and every one of those guys trouble, and he had moments in all of those fights. So I just think now, if with his head on straight, obviously you don't like to make excuses for either guy, but let's face it, he really didn't have a trainer for you know, a good part of his career after he left Evangelisto. I mean, he was kind of trying to reinvent himself. He was trying to do a little soul searching, and I think now with Freddie, obviously I don't want to put too much stock in Freddie, but I want to just say at least he's comfortable with Freddie. He has confidence with Freddie, and he just had a different demeanor about him, and he just had a different way about him when he fought last night. He just seemed very relaxed and confident and poised to do the job, and that's what he did.
Hey Vic, does Cotto make Sam Solomon come down here and unify?
I honestly don't know, but I mean, if we're gonna, if Sergio Martinez would have won yesterday, we would have asked Sergio Martinez to fight Gennady Golovkin, or we would have asked him to fight another middleweight. So I think we have to do the same to Miguel Cotto. He is the middleweight champion of the world. He doesn't have a title. He is the middleweight champion of the world. And
wow.
If we,
you want to have that man slaughtered, let's take it back out to the 718. I'm going to go to you. Hopefully you turned your radio off this time.
Sam Solomon come down here and
no,
unify?
He did not. Okay, another 718. You're live. Who's this?
Yo, it's Antonio from Auburn. What's good, guys?
Antonio, what up?
Not much, man. But, man, first off, man, they said, you know, Cotto had no chance. They said Martinez with one leg will beat Miguel Cotto. They said a 40, 30, 50, 60, 10%, 5% Martinez would be a Miguel Cotto. You know, I wonder what all those guys are thinking right now. Cotto had a night last night. man. And since the first round, oh man, I was like jumping up and down for the Cotto, man. I was like super excited. But yeah, man, I mean, we all gotta take into consideration that leg, though. You know what I mean? His one knee, was beat up, and that's what apparently made the fight easy for Cotto. Even though, I still think 80%, 90% Sergio Martinez will still have problems with Miguel Cotto. But man, I'm excited, man. But what I really want to talk about and get you guys' thoughts is what's next for Miguel Cotto. I'm hearing guys like Timothy Bradley, Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I still think Cotto shouldn't even think about Golovkin, nor Canelo, because those dudes are heavy hitters, man. Compared to Sergio Martinez, I think those two guys will give Cotto problems, and big problems, too. And, Cotto just got this title, man. I don't want him to lose it in his next fight, And Timothy Bradley, I mean, what is he going to do, move up and wait? What do you guys think?
I think the Canelo fight is a much easier fight than the Triple G fight would be, but it could be a tough fight as well. You're correct on saying that. I think the toughest fight would be a fight with Triple G. But again, there's still question marks about Triple G, but we still have to give Triple G credit. He is a devastating puncher, and he's very systematic. He knows how to break guys down. He knows how to cut the ring off. And he knows how to set up his shots very well. He's very well schooled, great amateur background. So that's the toughest fight. I would try to put that one off because I think that would be a tough fight for Cotto. I'm not saying Cotto wouldn't have his moments, but I don't know. It would be hard for Cotto to beat Triple G. I think that's a real tall task. But the Canelo fight would be a great fight for Cotto, I think, because Cotto's the type of guy that will bring it. He gets low. I think he would frustrate Canelo a little bit. I don't think Canelo's the greatest inside fighter. So I think that that would be a very interesting fight. I'd give Canelo a shot, but I think it would be an interesting fight.
What about the fact that this fight was offered to Cotto in the past and there was $10, $11 million? Now he's the middleweight champion of the world. Like Vic said, he's the lineal champ.
Yeah.
You got to offer Cotto now to make this fight.
I think Cotto asked for like 15 mil for that fight. I mean, he's the one that has the belt. I think this pay-per-view will do $500,000. So I think that'll be a success. I think he's in the driver's seat right now. I mean,
he got $7 million last night. That was just a guarantee alone. So
yeah.
that was a nice little payday last night for him.
Man, he dominated, dude. Oh man, I was having a heart attack. Like every time I seen Sergio take a shot, it was like a jolt was going through my body. I couldn't believe it. It was just ridiculous.
How did that look live? I mean, I was watching it on television. How did it look live?
It was really amazing. I was shocked to find out that it was only 20,000. I thought that it was more. Vic, how many does that hold? Is it 35 or just 20? Because it
just holds like 22. Wow. It was 22,000.
Well, the official thing at the press conference was 20. Unless I heard.
How much?
I thought they had 21,000 in there. I thought that's what I thought that they said, but I don't know for sure. I'll have to do some research on that.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, it was packed. It was electric. They were making their own songs. Like, oh man, it was the Puerto Ricans, dude. It was crazy. If
I was Cotto, I would never leave that building if I didn't have to, unless I got buku cash to leave that building. I would fight the rest of my. I'd be like Mayweather. I'd fight all my fights in the MSG.
Yo, that was.
Well, I mean, MSG is a good venue, man. I prefer, like I said, I prefer those type of arenas over casino arenas, dude. You get the real fan most of the time in there, instead of these high-priced wigs that are getting free tickets at casinos and things like that. It's a great atmosphere yesterday. I still think Judah Cotto had a little better atmosphere, but this was up there. Definitely up there.
Well, let's take it out to the streets. Everybody's favorite caller, Wood to God.
What's going on, my nigga, yo? Jesus fucking Christ, I knew it. Didn't I tell you that motherfucker had bad knees, man? I told you that motherfucker had knees like Ralph Sampson. Y'all was laughing and shit.
Ralph Sampson.
This nigga is the Ralph Sampson of boxing.
Fucking Danny Manning.
Motherfucker. Hey, B, but I know you know Ralph Sampson, don't you?
Yes, I do. 7'4" from the Rockets, baby.
That's Ralph Sampson of boxing with them fucked up ass knees. and ringside Robbie, he's a ringside liar. He picked Sergio, he lying little fucker. He lying talking about he got the right pick. He said Sergio was gonna knock him out. He a lying little motherfucker, man. I can't remember what show this nigga said it on, but this nigga a liar, man. Y'all should take his music. Y'all gonna get this little weirdo a fucking theme song and shit. Don't have shit for my ass. Ain't that some bullshit? Ain't that about a bitch, man?
That's horrible, man.
Ain't that about a bitch, man?
I think you deserve an intro.
Man, come on, man. Y'all can get ringside Robbie, this little weirdo
Hey,
fucking
hey. Fall back on ringside Robbie, man. Listen.
He's a nice guy, Wood.
All you got to do is go back and listen to the show and see. He calls in every show. So if he called in last show and picked Cotto last minute, the way Vic made last minute Cotto, that's his problem. And I told you we working on the intro for you, man. Knock it off, man. Stop hating. Why you got to hate on the next man?
Hey, I wasn't hating on him, man. I just called it like I seen it, man. That's all, man. He a little liar, that's all. I ain't saying nothing bad about him. We all grown, man. I'm trying to keep it a stack, that's all.
He called him a little liar, but he ain't saying nothing bad about him.
What the fuck is that, man? We all grown, shit.
I know. It's funny. It's funny the way you said it, man.
I get called worse shit than that.
I know. It's funny the way you said it.
Everybody get called names, man. Shit. Look at their fucking chat. They roast your ass in that motherfucking chat, B.
I know they do. They light me up like a Christmas tree in that motherfucker.
Yeah, you got about 3 or 4 assholes, man. They ripped you a new one. They rip you a new one every 5 seconds. Yeah, but man, this motherfucker, I know Nessville. I know Nessville, yo. All that shit you was talking and shit. You said, oh, fucking 40%, 20%, all this bullshit. I said, yo, what the fuck is you talking about? Yo, you see this nigga knees, man? Y'all must have see this nigga knees. This nigga got two fucking knee braces on. How the fuck can he beat somebody up with 2 fucking knee braces on and shit? I was like, I don't know what the fuck they think Cotto is a straight bum. They must think Cotto is a straight bum. You know what I'm saying, y'all? I said, what the fuck they think Cotto? I couldn't believe that shit that motherfuckers was talking about Cotto, man. I said, this nigga's done. I said, that journeyman, I seen that journeyman whip his ass, man. That journey, what's his name? What they call his nigga name? Martin Murray or something? What the fuck them journeyman name, y'all?
Yeah, Martin Murray, yeah.
Man, Martin Murray put him on his ass twice. And they only called 1 knockdown, but he put him on his ass twice. I said, oh, shit. I seen that fight. Then I seen this motherfucker on 24/7 with them fucking fucked up ass knees. I said, Cotto gonna beat this motherfucker. I said, I know Cotto gonna beat him. And I called in, that's talking big shit like he a gangster and shit. I said, man, Nestor gonna feel like a fucking fool, man. I said, he gonna feel like a fucking fool Sunday, man. I know Ness feel like 2 feet tall, don't you? You say you 6'9" and shit? I bet your ass ain't 6'9" now, motherfucker. You ain't 6'9" now, motherfucker. What a day. What the fuck?
That's crazy, man.
Hey, Ness, you 5'4" today.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Look, that happened to the best of them, man. We can't get them all right. I'm on a road though. I got like six fights in a row, right, man. I'm on a winning streak, man. I got everything. I fucked up on that Floyd shit. That's it. I said Floyd was gonna beat the shit out this motherfucker, but they let this nigga cheat and shit. Hit Floyd on in the head, hit him in the dick, knee his ass and shit. So he got his thing off. So that's it, man. So what's next for Cotto? He can beat Triple. Now they talking that tough guy shit with Triple G. Cotto gonna fuck his ass up too.
What?
Who gonna bet? Cotto gonna fuck Triple G ass up too.
Okay, go for it. Tell me why.
Man, because Cause I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm telling you, I be watching boxing. See, I don't get caught up in the hype. I don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers. I see Triple G never been tested. He never really been tested. And Cotto stick that jab in his face a couple of times and bang him in his body a couple of times. You know, he might discourage this motherfucker, man. See, that's what it's all about. He never fought nobody with the pedigree of Cotto, have he? Now he fought a whole bunch of journeymen, bunch of bums, all bunch of nobodies. He never fought nobody, a Hall of Famer. Cotto was a Hall of Famer. This kid got baby nuts, man. He fresh off the block, man. He got baby nuts, man. You know Cotto got King Kong balls. You seen that shit. Cotto got King Kong balls. I think he could beat.
Hold up, wasn't you the one that didn't want to see his balls on 24/7? Now you like his balls, huh? Boy, I'm gonna get to some other callers, man. I gotta move on. I gotta get to some other callers, but I'll be back. You already know. Let me just get through this first wave, which is a huge one, man. It feel like a California wave. 706. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
What's up? I thought I told y'all.
Everybody told us today, huh? Everybody told us.
This is real talk. You know who I picked?
Real Talk picked Cotto. He picked Cotto.
Damn, that's right.
I didn't even call in on the preview show. I actually called in. I made my pick earlier.
Introductions, brother. Got to give you the proper introductions, especially getting it right.
Motherfucking real. Dong.
Yeah, man. I'm usually lost for words, but not today. You know, everybody's talking about the damn knee, man. Forget about the fucking knee. You know, yeah, he may have bad knees, but it would have happened either way if Martinez had the best knees in the world. You know, it's the style, okay? That's why I try to tell you guys, you know, first off, there's a huge lack of fundamentals with Martinez. Huge lack of fundamentals. There's things that he's going to do that Sergio is going to do that Cotto's just going to, it's going to be automatic. Automatic get countered, automatic, and there's certain things that Cotto is going to do that Martinez just can't avoid. So that's number one. Number two, as far as the style, Cotto's style crushes Martinez's style. What you guys got to understand about Martinez is he has one speed or one level, which is basically, you know, he operates out of fighting backwards, moving around the ring. You know, that's what he feeds off of. Is basically you coming forward. Okay, the problem with Cotto is that you're not going to knock him out with one punch. You've never seen Cotto knock cold. You've never seen Cotto stop with one punch. You fight at that pace, Cotto's comfortable. What I can add, what Freddie Roach did add, and this is what Freddie Roach added to Cotto, he was able to instill in Cotto a better defense and better leverage on his punches. What I mean by better defense is he was able to keep Cotto from, when Cotto comes in, throws his little combination, and then he backs back out to admire his work, they stuff that shit. So Cotto's right back moving again, you know, right back on his job. So basically what Roach did for Cotto was basically keep him from getting caught, keep him from getting hit more, and then putting him in a position that he could get more leverage on his shots, which is beautiful. I mean, that Cotto didn't need a whole lot. He just needed those two things. Don't get hit, get more leverage on your punches. And those are the two things that I felt that Roach, you know, added to Cotto. But as far as the style, even the old Cotto would have beat Martinez, but I think the old Cotto would have got hit more. I mentioned another southpaw and got laughed at in referring to Carlos Quintana, another southpaw who bends at the waist and uses movement just like Martinez. And actually, Quintana did much better before he got stopped against Cotto. He actually landed a lot more punches. He did much better against Cotto than Martinez did. But if you watch that fight, Cotto got hit by Quintana a lot. So yeah, he needed to work on controlling that distance and knowing when the right time to come in and step in and throw his punches. So that's what Roach did. But yeah, style wise, he would have crushed him. Either way, Cotto would have always beat that style, because there's not a time when Martinez is effective going forward being the pressure guy. You have to pressure Cotto and keep heat on him. If you throw a good combination and land a good punch, you have to keep going with that. You can't just back off and then wait for Cotto to come forward, because eventually Cotto is going to get his offense together, and if he's able to continue to move forward, because you're not going to knock him out with one good punch. You're going to have to, you hit him with something good, you're going to have to stay on him. That's just not Martinez. Martinez feeds off of you coming forward. Not going to happen. I knew this fight was going to be this way. I didn't know that he was going to dominate and have such great defense. So that I can contribute to Freddie Roach. So at this point, Cotto's confidence is just, because of what Roach added, I think his confidence is on another level. So he's a dangerous guy. But from what I'm looking at now, they're going the Mayweather route. They're going to fight anyone from 147 all the way up to 160. So they're going to fight the A fights. They're not going to – you may not see a Triple G or a Peter Quillen or anything like that. They're going to go for – I'm in the driver's seat. It seems like they're going to go the Mayweather route. A lot of people don't like that. They don't think it's good for boxing. But then if you look at what Cotto's fucking been through and all the shit he's taken throughout the years, how can you blame him a little bit, So, that's my take. I knew that this fight was going to be, Cotto was going to either win by stoppage or he was going to outbox Martinez the whole night and just, keep that offense going on him. But, I really didn't know that he was going to be able to have that level of defense and controlling the fight the way he did. So that was impressive. But anyway, that's it for me. What do you guys think about that?
Well, real talk. We can't deny that you were right. I don't know, Beeb. What do you mean? What do you think he means? A side, kind of like what I said. Fight a Sam Solomon, guys like that, or because how else could he be an A side?
Well, I'm not so sure he cares about being an A side. I just think he wants to be in big fights. If he has to be the B side against Mayweather again, and they throw 12, 13, 14 million at him, I think he would take the fight. I just see him, because he's not going to box for that much longer probably. He may have 2 years left. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just giving my own opinion here. I think he's going to look for guys like Canelo and Mayweather. And against Canelo, would you say he would be the A side? Would he? How would you determine who's going to have more leverage in those negotiations?
I'd say right now it'd be Cotto on the A side.
Okay.
Just because
he has a title.
This pay-per-view is going to do well. It's going to do $500,000 at least,
Yeah.
I think. I didn't see a lot of people complaining about paying for this pay-per-view.
Yeah,
unlike other ones.
I didn't think the undercard was that bad. I thought the Andy Lee fight was very entertaining. I thought there was some entertaining fights on this card.
There's no names. That's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much.
Fight.
It was the Bella and Miguel Cotto fighters, basically.
Yeah, the Sonsona fight wasn't too bad either. It was a good fight. It was decent.
But I think Cotto would be the A side just because, and now he has that cachet of being the middleweight champion.
Yeah.
For some reason it means more now when he has that than Martinez would. You know what I'm saying?
Canelo is big, but he still hasn't developed into what Cotto is probably. That still remains to be seen.
Yeah, I totally agree with Vic.
Vic made some good points.
That title means a lot more now that Cotto has it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Go out to the streets. 773, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's up, Ness? It's me, Tony.
Tony, what's up, brother?
What's good, man? Shit, man, just now getting my voice back, man. That shit was crazy last night. But, I was thinking about, the fight last night, man. Cotto, he fought a great fight, man. You could tell Freddie Roach really helped him a lot, really helped him improve on everything, and I got to say something, man. I got to disagree with Vic as far as, him saying that since Miguel got the green belt, that maybe he should fight Triple G, or he's kind of obligated. you know, Miguel, we all know how the business works now of boxing. You know, it is actually a business first. And if I'm Cotto or I'm his people, I won't even waste time trying to get a fight and make Triple G a superstar. He needs to capitalize on his fame right now, fight if Floyd calls, if Canelo calls. Those are the fights he needs to take. If he does fight another middleweight, I mean, it'll have to be like Triple G, you know. But, like, I would not waste my time trying to make Triple G a superstar. And as far as last week, you know, all the hate that came in about Miguel, like, you know, when the fight was first announced, you know, my first instinct was I thought it was going to be a great fight, but I was just like most people. I was like, okay, it's going to be, you know, Martinez's help against Cotto's skill, you know, whichever one is going to, you know. I felt like if Martinez was healthy, you'd probably win going in. That's what I was thinking. But after listening to Thursday's podcast, I was heated because I heard so much Cotto hate. And I want these haters that were calling all Thursday saying Cotto was a bitch, that he wasn't shit, that he never accomplished anything in his career, basically, because that's how they were talking about him. I want them to call back, you know, specifically that other dude from Chi-Town, King J. I want him to call back, eat his crow, because that dude was rambling for like 5 good minutes about how bad Cotto was, and how he wasn't shit. So I want his ass to call back, you know, and take his lumps. You know, but aside from that, that's all I got to say. You know, thanks a lot for letting me have this time. Peace out.
Man, the saddest part of this show is I don't remember who picked who.
Well, you know what?
Sounds like they picked Cotto.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people pick Martinez, and
yeah, I mean, I think majority of the callers last Thursday. I can't remember 3 people that picked Cotto.
Now everyone's saying as if they're on the fence now, and everybody said that the knee, even if it was bad, didn't mean anything, and all of a sudden people thought that Sergio Martinez was going to turn into a Ruslan Provodnikov. He doesn't have to move. He's going to stand in the middle of the ring and slug it out with him. And we all saw what happened when they were face-to-face in the trenches. Cotto outpunched him. So, I mean, it's just... I hate like a lot of people are calling in right now acting as if they were like down the middle. They thought it was a 50-50 fight. They didn't believe that. So just be honest with yourselves, guys. You know, when I picked Bradley to beat Pacquiao, I came on the show. I said, hey, I gave Pacquiao full credit. I said I was wrong. I thought Bradley was going to win. Just own up to it, man. I mean, don't sit here and pretend that you were like riding the fence. You know what I'm saying?
I know Tony's a big Cotto guy, so I don't think he called last week, but he probably picked Cotto.
I don't know, man, but a lot of people, man, they're acting like, hey, this I knew when this fight was announced it was going to be a 50-50 fight. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because about 20 people were calling me an idiot last week. So, I mean, I just want to know where all those people are.
That to come because the switchboard is still lit up. 214, you're live in the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
My friend, we hear you. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, what's up? This is Bright Kid from Texas, yo.
Bright Kid, what up?
What up, man? I know it's been a while. I've been working hard and everything, but I saw the fight last night, and I believe they should have stopped it in the first round, man. Sergio knees were out of there. And a lot of people, I don't understand, when you tear your knee twice and you have to have surgery, it takes more than a year. And I don't see why people believe that Sergio could win at 50%, 40%. That's absurd, man. Come on. Against 100% Cotto. And what Freddie Roach is doing with the guy, man, I feel like I give him another chance with Floyd Mayweather just to see how you do. I feel like that's a fight if they both pretty much, I believe, Floyd to stay undefeated. If Cotto can win this next fight, I think that's something they should pull up next year. Cotto and Mayweather, too. What you think about that?
I mean, I can get down with it. I mean, but where are they fighting? 47? He certainly can't make 47 anymore, Miguel.
I think it's an awesome option. I think it gives Mayweather a chance to do the same thing and you know, finally shut the guys up to say he's not like Duran and Sugar Ray and Ray Robinson and whoever else you guys mentioned, and fight for a middleweight title at a catchweight. I think it's absolutely feasible without a doubt. I mean, Cotto himself came in at 155, so he's a champ. And these guys are big champs. They can make their own weight class, man. We all know that. 513. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Fight Doctor Natty. How y'all doing today?
What's going on, Fight Doctor?
Oh, man, taking it easy, man. I was just chiming in. I was actually 50-50 on this fight until I heard B talking about it on Thursday, and what he said made all the sense in the world. So my question is, where's this guy going from here? I'm going to play Nostradamus. I can see a Canelo fight coming up on the horizon. I see this is a big money fight there. What do you think about it?
I absolutely think that's possible, especially with Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya looking to make business. This will be a co-promotion they can do, and show that, you know, without Richard Schaefer, Oscar can still thrive and make big fights. I mean, it's definitely enticing, I would say, for them.
Yeah, and the Triple G, I don't think you want any part of Triple G right about now, man. That's a little bit far-fetched right now.
Yeah, man, I remember way back when we had Abel Sanchez on, and he said that Cotto wanted to spar Triple G, and they said no because they didn't want him to, you know, get hurt before a fight if that were to be the case. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Vic, Triple G and Cotto, that's your guy. What do you want to see happen?
Well, I mean, do I think Miguel Cotto should take that fight? Absolutely not. I mean, I just think he's too small, and I think Triple G hits like a battering ram. But at the same time, if Sergio Martinez won yesterday, that's the fight we're calling for. So, I mean, what I think is going to happen is he's going to take a fight in December, and I think he'll fight Canelo maybe in May of next year. I don't know. That's my opinion. I mean,
do you think Canelo's going to beat Lara, Vic?
I'm actually favoring Canelo to beat Lara.
Yeah. Okay. It's a tough fight. I'm picking Lara, but I'm not really.
It's a tough fight. I mean, it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah. I'm not confident in my pick. I mean, I'm picking Lara. I'll probably put a little money on him because of the odds, but I'm just wary about how they're going to score that fight. They may not like Lara's style. He may be backing up and stuff, and it could be the same situation as if when when Trout fought Canelo, how he didn't get the benefit of the doubt in any of those rounds, and they scored it very one-sided. I had that fight like a draw. So, I mean, I'm just really concerned how they're going to score this fight.
And remember, Lara didn't get a decision in AC against Paul Williams. I mean,
yeah, so
he's facing Canelo in Vegas.
I hate to make excuses. I'm going to pick Lara. I'm going to roll with Lara, and if he loses, he loses, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I'm not confident in how this, 100% in the judges at all.
Yeah, and I know everybody's going to want to bet me on that one. That's going to be another sad day if I lose that one, too. 602, you're live on the Boxing Voice. 602, you're live.
Yo, what up, Ness? Yo, this is Brandon from Phoenix.
What's going on, Brandon?
Yo, man, I just want to make a couple quick comments. First of all, I got to pay homage to the Biebs. I was one of the people listening to the podcast, like, Biebs is out of his mind, talking crazy shit, whatnot. But, Biebs called this, he set it up perfectly, basically with the knees. Cotto was in there moving well. And somebody who's not getting credit is the physical trainer, man. The dude who used to train GSP is Cotto's trainer. I think it's a big time difference maker in Cotto's career. Even almost as much as Roach, personally, is what I think. Because anytime I've seen GSP fight, he always looks in tip-top physical condition. And Cotto's been bouncing around and just moving so well that, it's surprising. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, he looked like a different man. I still can't believe what I seen last night.
I mean, he was in there moving like a fucking cat, man. He was just on his shit. You know what I'm saying? And Martinez, obviously the knee was done. I don't even think that was 60% of Sergio Martinez in there last night. When you can't, the way his game was, and back to what Beeb said originally, the way he boxes You know what I'm saying? His legs are essential. They mean more to him than probably almost any other boxer right now at the championship level, as far as that injury that he had. And then I got two more quick points I want to make. As far as a Mayweather fight for Cotto, it's another one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't positions. Because if Floyd don't make that fight, people gonna say, "Oh, Floyd's scared of Cotto now because he's with Roach and he's looking good and all this other bullshit." And then if he does make the fight, they're gonna say, "Oh, Floyd fought this guy because he's a small middleweight and he just wanted a belt grab." You know what I'm saying? That's how I see people playing that out. Mm-hmm.
Good point. Good point, man. Damn, that's a good one.
Well, it's kind of funny how Floyd hasn't announced his opponent yet, and he's waited. And I'm curious to see if he's going to make an offer to Cotto. Maybe he was waiting to see who won this fight. I don't know.
It makes the most sense.
With the blood of a Scottish warrior coursing through his veins, this man proclaimed,
I fucking love boxing. Yo, what's up, guys? Was Sergio Martinez wearing a ski mask on the way to the ring? Because he just robbed everybody. His knee was 2%, 3% at the most. And I picked Sergio Martinez. I picked Sergio Martinez by knockout, 9th round. And credit to Cotto, he done what he had to do. But like, I don't know how much Sergio Martinez made last night, but clearly to me, his knee was already fucked. So if he knew that, why is he making the fans pay all this money, having these Argentinians fly thousands of miles from Argentina, fucking pay the Madison Square Garden fees just to watch a fucking one-legged man get slapped about by a small guy?
Well,
MV2, he made 1.5 million plus pay-per-view upside, which is another thing that boggles me. Like, why ruin your legacy for $1.5 million?
Well, he's not. He's gonna get more than that. He'll probably get 4 or 5 million, maybe 4. I think.
But the guarantee was 1.5.
I don't know
because because what someone told me was that for him to make money on the upside, it has to do 250 or more.
Oh, okay.
And I think it will. I think it'll do 500.
I think it'll do 5.
And I think that's more than what he would have got. He would have got a guarantee.
But can I say one thing that was kind of disgusting? He had 2 doctors in his corner. He had that female lady that's supposed to be like some type of doctor, and he has actually a doctor in his corner that's part of his as part of his team on the ring apron, whatever. He's like one of the chief seconds, and he had the 2 doctors said that his knee was 100% ready to go, and they had to have known it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just destroyed their credibility just so they could get paid.
Yeah, I mean it's a cash out, I guess you can say. Dude.
It is, but doctors are supposed to be ethical. You know what I'm saying? Like my doctor is very ethical, and he would never like when he bills me. He bills exactly how it is. Like, if I tell him to bill me, hey, if you bill it like this, I'll get a break on my insurance, he won't do it. Like, a lot of doctors are just very ethical, and they don't want to put their name out there in a negative light. So if these 2 doctors say that his knees were 100%, meanwhile, he's walking out to the ring with his both knees strapped up, he's limping around, whatever, it just makes their credibility as physicians look really bad. That's all I'm saying.
MV2, you want to finish up?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that Beeb said, but like the worrying thing for me is that woman who was in the 24/7. I mean, she's just eye candy. She's like a MILF.
A MILF! I love it.
I don't know if he's banging her. But I could tell by the exercises that they were doing that the knee wasn't right. And I regretted it, man, because my boy Ephraim, who likes to put bets on fights, he showed me the odds for Sergio Martinez to knock out Miguel Cotto from the 6th round to the 12th. And it was 25-1 for Sergio Martinez to get a knockout. 25-1? So what did these guys know that we didn't? So clearly to me there's like a conspiracy going on. Luda Bella must have knew that his boy was fucked. All these guys in the back room must have knew.
They cashed him out, like Vic said. They cashed him out. It's no question.
Well, why can't you tell the fans before you pay money?
He should have never taken the fight, and maybe obviously he wasn't 100%, but the fact remains, I don't think he would ever be 100% moving forward now. There's just too much damage. A meniscus does not heal. I mean, that meniscus has been torn for a while. It's had so much scar tissue. There's very little meniscus piece of the cartilage left in his knee. So, you know what I'm saying? Once you take that piece out, it doesn't grow back. So there was just no way he's ever going to be 100%. There's just no way. No matter how long of a time period he took off, there's just no way he was ever going to be 100%.
I agree. One more thing before I go, guys.
This guy's calling me Dr. Joe Habib. Dude, I've had 4 friggin' surgeries on my right knee and 1 on my left. I'll show you my MRIs. Cartilage does not grow back. It's a fact. You don't have to be a doctor to fucking... You can open up a fucking biology book and read that, my friend. You don't have to be a doctor. It's common fucking sense. All you smartasses in the chat, do the research before you call me Dr. Habib. And you know what? Compared to you, I probably am a fucking doctor. You probably have a preschool education. But go ahead. Not you, MV2. This idiot in the chat that's talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Babe, you're on fire. I'll be honest with you, mate.
There's a lot of idiots, though. Like, you want to bust my balls, that's all well and good. But don't be a fucking idiot. Like, don't say things that have no fucking merit. Like, cartilage does not grow back. I have fucking bone on bone in my right knee. You think if it grew back, I would have fucking cartilage in my knee, don't you think? I had fucking 4 surgeries. I tore my ACL when I was 14 years old. Fucking tore my meniscus when I was fucking 2005 and then again in 2009. I mean, I know the fucking injury. All those exercises, the therapy, everything he was doing, I was doing. And you know what my fucking doctor told me? You can't run, you can't pivot, you can't do a lot of things. You should use your elliptical, you should walk. And he was going in there doing all the things he was not supposed to do. He can never fucking box again effectively. It's impossible. It's impossible.
He had knee problems. And he was doing something with the Busu ball, which is kind of like the ball on a board. He was doing squats and that shit, man. That's painful as fuck if you've got a bad knee. So I kind of like...
They were lying to themselves. They were rolling him out there like a wounded animal, and they cashed out on him. And those 2 doctors are fucking... That lady going on 24/7, sitting there looking in the camera and saying he was 100%, that is fucking unethical. She should lose her fucking medical license for saying that. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
yeah, I don't mind.
Martinez should lose his boxing license because he told us a lot of bullshit in the face.
No, he's not a doctor. I mean, boxers always lie and tell you that they're 100% even when they're not. That's his machismo. I don't fault him that much. I fault the doctor. But I mean, from a fan standpoint, if you're buying the pay-per-view, I can see how you would feel that way. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, but I don't mind people paying the pay-per-view fee. He's getting one last payday. It's like a testimonial, like they do in British sports. It's like a thank you. Here's a financial payoff. But it's the guys who travel from a fucking second world country, Argentina, thousands of miles, spending money they've probably not got. Well, they probably do got. I'm being a bit disingenuous, but I mean, it's fucking harder for them than fucking a Puerto Rican staying in fucking New York around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, and they're filling out the arena, thousands of them. And then he just fucking puts on a performance like that. I mean, thank you for your service, Sergio, but that's a fucking bank robbery what you've just done there. And I fucking, it's disgusting, to be honest. To the fans. And like Ari said in the chat, man, I don't want to see Martinez again. And Nez, I know you feel the same.
I just still am hurt, MV2. But let me get to some other callers. But I'm hurt. I do feel like you. I feel like he lied to me and he did some bullshit last night. That was not supposed to happen. 718, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Thank you for your service, Sergio, but that's a fucking bank robbery.
718. You gotta mute the show and talk on live. Okay.
To the front.
Juggernaut, what up?
Yeah, I just want to, give B his, his just due. He was right. Shout out to the Maniac. He was right, too. And you know, I'm just pass the hot sauce and a glass of milk. Let me wash down this crow. I was amazed, just like you, Ness. I was looking at it with my jaw drop. I don't know if I was more amazed watching Danny Garcia fight Matisse or seeing Cotto knock Martinez down and dominate him like that. I don't know. I think I was more amazed by Cotto.
Yeah, I think when it all settles for me, and you know, I actually start to appreciate last night. Probably is going to be on the second airing over the Ruslan fight, and then I'll probably appreciate Cotto a whole lot more. Right now, I'm still in shock, and I'm very upset, depressed even.
But let me say this: there is no way Laura is going to win this fight. There's just too much money for Canelo to fight Cotto or Pacquiao. There's just too much money. Laura's not going to win, man.
Man, please don't say that. I can't afford another loss. Broner did it to
smart.
me.
Listen to Beeb next time.
Hey, I'm picking Lara, but I'll tell you this: if I can get like two,
picking them with no money.
No, but if I can't get at least 2 to 1 on Lara, I'm not going to bet the fight. But if I can get 2 to 1, I'll make a small play on Lara. But again, I won't be confident in my pick because he has a style. A lot of guys will not give him rounds just because he fights off the back foot. Like I thought Trout really did okay against Canelo. I mean, obviously Canelo knocked him down and hurt him a few times, but I thought Trout's volume really, troubled Canelo a little bit, but he got no credit for a lot of things he did in there. And I can just see the same thing happening to Lara. And that's not taking anything away from Canelo. Canelo's got some skills. He's a decent fighter. I just think guys who have good movement, guys who give him space, he'll have problems with those guys. But you just have some of those judges. There's some types of judges like Harold Letterman. If they see a guy backing up, automatically he loses the round, regardless of what he's doing, regardless of what his opponent's doing. And that's just how some people judge fights. And I hope those types of guys aren't going to be the judges for this fight in July. But I could be wrong.
Juggernaut on drive-by mode. That's all I got.
All right, brother. One guy that did pick Cotto from the very beginning, from the announcement of this fucking fight, and you can go check it on the podcast, was Link from like Atlantic County somewhere. Link, what up?
What's goody?
How you feeling, man? I mean, you picked it way long ago.
I picked it when it has 3 to 1 odds, and I bet 100 on it on Bovada.lv.
Nice.
So instead of going to this fight, so I'm just gonna go to the Ruslan fight next week. I think Sergio underestimated him. I think even with the bad knee, I think he thought that he still could have took him. I think he surprised him with his aggressiveness. I fuck with Sergio, but I think he was just holding that title hostage. Like he scraped by so many times, and it was time for him to lose it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just didn't think that Cotto would do it, let alone the way that he did it. I mean,
me neither. After the first round, I was breakdancing.
Yeah, man. Cotto was fucking him up, man. There's nothing else. Like he didn't just win a tight decision. He dominated him and made him quit. He quit, man.
Well, I mean, the corner. I'm not gonna say he quit. I think the corner stopped it for him. He would have went back out there.
Quit.
Yeah, he would have kept going. But
he would have kept going.
I think he should take Peter Quillen's title so he could go away, because he's scraping by and holding the title hostage too. And I think Canelo gonna lose. Either he gonna lose or they gonna rob him like they gonna rob Lara like they did Felix Stern before the De La Hoya Hopkins fight.
Well, Link, let me jump out to some other calls. I'm gonna place you on hold so you can keep listening. 310. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
Hey, what's going on, man? That's so. I talked to you about a month ago. That was my first time calling. This my second time, man. I actually had Cotto. I didn't call you. I didn't call in, but I had Cotto. A lot of people been giving Martinez the benefit of the doubt because of his knees, man. But me personally, it's boxing. And if you're not 100%, you shouldn't step in there. I'm kind of like your last caller, Bleak. It's like Cotto kind of overwhelmed him, and I think he underestimated him. And like I told you the last month when I called you, when I discussed Cotto fighting Mayweather, he's a left-handed fighter, but he fights in an orthodox style. That left hook is what damaged Martinez. I don't think it was his knees. To me, he moved the same. He was moving around the ring. He was bouncing. The only problem I thought he had was with his shorts and that left hook. That was it. That was the problem. And once he got caught with that left hook and he felt the power, I think he went into survival mode. He went into survival mode and he kept getting knocked down till he never had an answer for that left hook. Now, everybody, I'm not a doctor. I don't know about any of the injuries. I never had one. I don't know about the Carter situation. So I really can't speak on it. But if you climb in that square and you're not 100%, you really can't blame nobody but yourself. But Cotto looked better than I thought he was going to look. I didn't think he was going to look that good. But as far as him fighting Mayweather again, I don't see that happening because Mayweather beat him too convincingly. And if Mayweather did fight him again on a rematch, which Mayweather don't give rematches, he only gave one rematch in his whole career, which was Castillo. So I don't see him giving Cotto a rematch because if he did, it's at 160. If you ever seen Floyd in person, just walking around, I think he's 150 pounds, 149 pounds. So I don't see that happening. As far as Laura and Carnelo, I'm leaning towards Laura. Because if you notice, anybody that fights Carnelo that has any type of movement, he kind of have trouble with him. He caught Trout, but Trout really looked good against him. You know, movement giving problems. That's why Mayweather won. That's why Trout looked good. And I think that's what's going to pull it off. But my big question is with Carnelo is, which I thought I was going to get this answer with Angulo, but I didn't because it looked like Angulo was fighting like somebody had his family hostage. I thought he was going to get hit with a big punch, and that question can get answered. Could he take it? Now I'm going to see if Carnelo can take a punch from a big puncher. So that's why I'm leaning towards Laura, that and his movement. If Carnelo can take his punch and cut the ring off on him, he can win the fight. But if the movement gives him a problem and he can't take the power, then it's over for him. I don't know what he's going to do after that, but I'm leaning towards Laura in that fight. So what you think?
Well, I think me and Beeb already made it clear we're leaning Laura. I mean, I'm not leaning. I'm picking.
I'm picking Laura too, but I have my concerns with the scoring. I really do. Yeah, and I hate to say that.
We want to try and stick on the Cotto Martinez topic just because he deserves it. Much like Ruslan, of course, now with these current events, my opinion of Cotto has to change, or else I would be an idiot. What he did yesterday, doesn't matter which version of Martinez you want to claim, showed up. Me, myself, personally, I give Cotto 100% credit. I don't take anything away from this. This was a letter grade performance of the A+ in my eyes. Doesn't matter, again, what version of Martinez, because I thought that any version of Martinez would beat Cotto. So Cotto, in my eyes, has just had the greatest win of his career. And I'm going to move on and take some more callers. 2, 1, 4. You're live on the box. What's this?
Wait for that.
214, you're live.
Hey. Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Hey. Oh yeah, I didn't even know I went on live, man.
Okay, no problem, brother. I'm gonna leave you on mute. You could just continue to listen in. 443, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, how you living, fam, man? It's going to rain, sleet, hail, snow. And you know what? I didn't have an official pick because I didn't know how Martinez was going to come in the fight, but I got to admit, I would have slightly favored him, man, because, hey, you know, I was like you. I wasn't really impressed with Cotto throughout his whole career because I felt like he was the dude that just never made the big one, if you understand what I mean by that. You know, I seen him up against Chop Chop Corley. He lost rounds, got knocked down, get knocked down by guys that's not even A fighters, and he had a lot of. He disappointed me a lot throughout his career. But I gotta admit, this one over the weekend definitely made up for that. As far as him fighting Canelo, if Canelo can make it past Lara impressively, I'm not sure if Cotto would take a fight like that because I'm gonna be honest, he seems like he's been avoiding Canelo. Canelo been trying to get a Cotto fight for years now. So have Sergio Martinez, and he got that. But everyone's saying when he looked like in his last fight, we all knew he was on the decline. I'm not trying to take too much from Cotto because, like I said, I didn't think he would really win this fight, depending on the condition.
Well, look for Cotto to make a decision after this Lara fight because if Canelo wins, depending on how he wins, you know Freddie Roach's, his favorite thing to do is dissect the fighter and know exactly when it's the right time to get him in the ring. He did it with De La Hoya. You know, he's done it in the past. He just did it with Martinez. He's going to keep doing things like that. You agree, Beeb?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think.
But I don't think Cotto's avoiding Canelo. I mean, let's kill that talk right there. I mean, he had a chance to make history as the A side. Say what you want. You know, he turned down $10 million, but now how much more do you think he gets if he fights Canelo? It's going to be a lot more than $10 million.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. 718. You're live on the Boxer Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from? 718. You just listening, no problem. 443. You're live on the Boxer Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what's up?
Who this, Slug?
Yeah, man, what's going on, my brother?
What up?
Shit, man. Sitting here eating my bag of crow. I got a bag of shell crow right here on my desk. Every piece of
Yeah.
Man, Cotto shot the hell out of me, man. I never expected that fight to be like that in that fashion anyway. I knew that Martinez had some ailments going into this fight, and to me, he didn't make any excuses for it because the post-fight interviews, you know, he said he's more excited, you know, with all these ailments against him, makes him want to fight harder. Okay. But, man, when he got in the ring, man, Cotto was just too strong for him. That left hook just picked him apart. He said when he took that left hook, I think the first knockdown, he said he was already done. He was already done. So I think that's a sign right there. My man should just go ahead and do that early retirement thing because that was the worst performance I've seen from Martinez in the ring. And it was kind of sad. I was getting bad feelings about it. And I was actually hoping they would stop the fight. And I was glad they did.
Yeah, man, it was sad, man. It was sad.
What you got to say about that, Ness?
It was sad, man. I'm telling you, I felt like I was having a heart attack in that fucking arena.
You did? Oh, my God, man. I was like, what the hell is this? I was feeling that.
Yo, I kept thinking he would come back. I'm like, all right, he's just rusty.
Yeah.
He's just rusty. He's got to get his timing on. He's gonna get it. And he just kept getting countered with a left hook. It was fucking stupid.
Yeah, I kept thinking the same thing, man. You know, when he got knocked down the first time, I thought, okay, that's kind of typical of Martinez. I've seen him get knocked down by plenty of guys, come back and whip the shit out of him.
and maybe even knock him out. But as the fight went on, and this guy's getting dropped in almost every round, man, and it was looking bad. I said, oh, boy. And that's when I
Hey,
did.
Slug, man, I'm going to put you on hold. I got a few more callers we got to get to, man. We've had a huge wave of callers. 212, you're live on the Boxer Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what up? What up? This is Danny from Harlem.
Danny, what up?
Yo, tell me you ain't want to cry when you saw this nigga fall down 3 times in the first round.
Man, I was crying. I lost money on this fight. Every casual fan betted me last night, throughout the build-up to this fight. And I was taking it because, again, to me it was like, Martinez, please, Cotto, whatever. Like, of course, let's bet. Dude, I'm fucking crying right now.
I know this nigga Trout dumb happy in his house. You heard?
What up?
I know Trout is super happy right now because he was the last guy to defeat Cotto convincingly, and now Cotto goes and win the middleweight championship.
Damn, yo, you just put an amazing idea. Vic, what about that? They go the Trout route and do a rematch at the Garden.
I don't know. I don't know if Miguel wants that type of fight. I think Beeb said he wants all the big fights. I'm not sure how big of a fight Trout is in comparison to a Mayweather-Canelo type fight.
I don't see it happening, Ness.
Coming off of 2 losses, he won't take Trout with Freddie Roach to give him the game plan?
No, he don't need it. Why would he fight Trout? What does Trout bring to the table? Nothing.
Just another payday. Another payday.
I don't know, man.
It's an easy fight for him, right?
I think the rematch will do good.
I think people will chew it up because he's avenging a loss.
It could, I mean, but
it's not a bad idea. I just don't see it happening. I don't think it's.
I mean, in terms of marketing, I think it's a. I mean, if you wanna continue to win and build off the Cotto brand, you know, if you want to do a Mayweather type of thing, you have backstory because of the loss. Now it's at middleweight. I don't have to make weight anymore. I feel great. Yada yada yada. Let's do it. I don't know.
Well, you know, if he's gonna fight Canelo or Mayweather, it can't be in December, and he's gonna take a fight in December. So I don't know who he would. You know, he has to fight somebody. I'm really curious to see who that next opponent is.
Hey, B, the Gate made $5 million, is what Todd DeBuff said last night. So.
And you know, you make a point. I mean, he could fight just about anyone in that place and sell it out, especially now. So who knows?
Hey, 212, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, I just want to know who the fuck was the idiot that made Sergio's trunks? Them shits was falling off.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Damn, B, this nigga. I think that's another thing that affected him too. The trunks, because
right?
them shits was sagging.
Rival. It looked like it was Rival brand.
Everything was fucked up for Sergio.
It wasn't an Everlast or something like that.
I thought I seen Rival, but I don't know. It was sad, man. It was. Oh man, it was so bad for me that I thought about not doing this show because I knew niggas was gonna give me so much shit.
That eyes, that's crazy. Yo,
like,
one last thing before I go. What do you think he should do next? Is retire?
Who, Cotto?
No, Martinez.
Sergio.
Yeah, he has to retire now. He can't fight.
He needs to take a fight in Argentina versus some stiff where he can win and just retire because if he retires on a loss, that's fucked up.
He can't fight anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
That's fucked up if he retires on a loss. That's really discrediting his career. But 212, I'm gonna move on. Oh no, this is Danny, right? My bad, Danny. I'm gonna move on to some other callers, brother. 773, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Oh, this is Santana from the Shy.
Santana, what up?
Yeah, what up, man? I'm just calling to eat my crow, man. I picked Martinez, TKO. Yeah, man. Yeah, Cotto, yeah, he looked good, man. Martinez looked bad, and I think Cotto, his next fight, he should fight Peter Quillen in December. I think that'll be a good fight. What y'all think?
I mean, I think it's a good fight. You know, the problem there is Eric Brown works in Freddie Roach's gym, and that's really the head trainer of Peter Quillen. But for big fights, Freddie Roach shows up because he's the trainer for Peter Quillen. So it'll be interesting to see what they do if they decide to go that route. But, you know, again, like me, I'm thinking Cotto plays the Mayweather card. So this is another good option. This is an inexperienced middleweight champ with not a lot of, amateur background, but he has a title. He has some, popularity in New York. He's fought a lot on the Barclays Center. To put him in unification at MSG, I mean, I think it makes financial sense even more.
Yeah.
And it would be another Golden Boy top-ranked co-promoted card, which would, solidify an end to a very cold era.
Right. Okay. What do you think about the Sean Porter and the Kell Brooks fight, man, in New York?
I can't wait, man. I'm hearing it's going to happen early August, and it's going to happen in New York City. If it is, it's on.
Yeah, I tweeted that out to y'all.
Yes, I'm going to be in there if that happens. I mean, I know that it's happening. I don't know where, but I know 100% it's happening.
It's August 9th. August 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dan. I'll holler at y'all at the next show, man.
All right, brother. Thanks for being a man and eating your crow as I am doing mine. Jimmy Grills, what up?
Hello.
What's up, Jimmy?
You there?
We're here.
Hello.
Yes, we're here, Jimmy. Jimmy, are you there?
Jimmy, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, what's up, brother? Talk to me.
Hey, mate, I'm calling in from Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mate, I didn't expect that kind of dominance, but I certainly picked this one. I posted a article on a forum and picked it reasonably well. I thought it was going to go the distance, but I think it probably could have as well if the corner didn't choose to stop it. But it was impressive stuff from Cotto, and Martinez is done. I really think that something that people aren't kind of seeing as much as I am is that I think there's a clear class difference from, say, 140, 154, or mainly 147, followed by 154 and 140, compared to every other division. And Martinez was good against Williams and Pavlik, 4 years ago. But since then, he's feasted on guys like Macklin, Murray, Barker, Chavez Jr., and he's had trouble with them, even though he won. And you got to think, how do guys like that, like Murray and Barker, Macklin, really compare to someone like Cotto?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it, while they were not on the level of a Cotto, they were, in my opinion, I thought that they hit harder than Cotto because they were natural 160-pounders, which always means a guy that weighs like 180 sucking down. So I thought that that Martinez would be able to handle the shots and come up with a game plan, even if he had to come up with plan B. I never expected Cotto to just overwhelm him and do what he did. But I do want to tell you, before I forget, email us at The Boxing Voice. That's THE Boxing Voice at Yahoo. And we'll give you a place to put those articles instead of on some boring forums. Let some real people get to read your thoughts.
Oh, thanks. I tweeted you the link as well just before. So it's on your Twitter timeline.
All right. Like I said, just email me and we'll correspond through there.
Yeah, no worries. I think three things. I think that there is a class difference. I think that guys like Gill, a lot of the British fighters and stuff at 160, they're solid guys, but I think there is a clear class difference. So even you look at Broner, the dominance he had at 130, 135, and then coming up to 147. I know obviously the size may have been a factor as well, but I mean he naturally is that size really, and there's just a clear class difference in the divisions around 140, 147, and 154. Those guys who are dominated there are really elite guys, and I think that Martinez's dominance at 160 and the way he's been looked at on a pound for pound level has kind of been warped because of the opposition he was facing and the class that those guys were really in. I mean, he has been a great champion. He's had a good run, but he's had vulnerability against somewhat limited opposition. And even like his marquee wins against Pavlik and Williams, you know, they're good guys, but I mean, they're not like fucking the best guys out there. You know, I mean, they're not the best in the world, all-time greats or anything like that. And that's the pinnacle for Martinez. So I don't know. He's had a good run. He was really classy in defeat. It's sad to see him get embarrassed like that, getting whooped with his trunks falling off. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Well, great call, Jimmy. Thanks for calling in. I believe this is your first time, so as always, as we bust every virgin's virginity here, come back again. 718. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? 718. 206. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, what up, Fight fam? How y'all doing?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, I called in to ask Beeb how much he won.
How much did I win? I made 2 bets. I took Cotto to win by decision, and I took Cotto to win by knockout.
Wow.
I got 3.5 on Cotto to win by decision, and I got plus 510 to win by knockout. So made a couple bucks, not a ton, but a couple bucks.
Okay. I was wondering if you would have bet a little bigger on that. It's funny, man. Like I catch the show sometimes. Babe. Some of the stuff with me and B will be like kind of way off on certain things, but it's funny that he was feeling Cotto like that. I called on one of the other shows yesterday or something, man, and it surprised me not so much that people were picking Martinez. That's the safe pick. He should have beat Cotto with his size, but it just surprised me how people was thinking he was just going to destroy Cotto. And people keep, it's funny. This is one of them fights where it really lives up to the that statement about styles make fights. He always had a chance against Martinez. His style alone was going to be tough for Martinez. It was almost like, in a weird way, like watching Frach and Butte. It was real weird. It was just kind of like Cotto was comfortable in the very first round. As soon as he realized that the timing and the counterpunching he was going to be cool with, he started bouncing around. He didn't even go at him. He just knew he could box with him. He knew he could outbox Martinez halfway through the first round. He already knew. And you could see the fight just changing when he was catching him. He didn't need power. He was putting his hands on him. And anybody who thought Cotto wouldn't be able to hurt Martinez if he put his hands on him ain't been watching enough boxing. He was going to hurt him if he Martinez's biggest chance was his size. He don't fight big. He's not a big 160-pounder. So Cotto always had a good shot in the fight, man. It surprised me everybody was so one-sided about it.
Yeah, man, I'm one of those dudes that thought, Cotto would not hurt Martinez, and I was fucking wrong. I'm hearing and sensing a lot of new callers. As we always ask you guys here on the Boxing Voice, for those of you that participate, of course.
Yo, what's going on, boxing fans? To make Boxing Voice #1 boxing show, log on iTunes and drop them a 5-star review. Come on, man. It is free and easy, and guess what? It means a lot to these guys. Holy crap, what is this hesitation all about, man? Go write the review, motherfuckers.
3, 1, 2, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, this is Leno calling in from the side, man.
What's going on, brother?
I just want to say, man, that shit was sad to see Sergio get his ass whooped like that, man. I had picked him, too. I had no clue that Cotto was going to just run through him like that, man. But as far as that Canelo and Laura fight, man, I think that shit cool, but you finna get your money took on that shit, man. I think Laura, man, that motherfucker, he ain't got his head right, man. I think Canelo gonna come in and put that crazy Mexican pressure on his ass and fuck him up like kind of like Angulo did. If you look at that fight, Angulo was crashing Laura until he got that damn hematoma on his eye, man. But I think Canelo got the tools and the levels to that to beat his ass, man. I think that's exactly what he's gonna do too, man.
See, the problem I have with that is that Angulo, well, Canelo doesn't fight like Angulo, and that's more of a reason that he even though he came on strong in the Canelo Angulo, he still doesn't fight as a pressure fighter. So that's going to give Laura the time that I think he needs to get things settled in properly, man. 75711 a boxing voice. Who's this?
Someone is out, man, but I think it's
Someone who didn't mute their radio before going live. All right, so we finally got through all the callers. Let's see if we get some more. I know everybody wants to talk Cotto Martinez. Cotto making history. What's next for Cotto? 646-478-3068. Beeb, Vic, if you had a magic genie, what would you wish Cotto's next fight to be?
I'm going to say Mayweather.
Let me know why, Vic. You're saying Canelo. Why Canelo? And then B, why Mayweather?
Oh, I just think it's the classic Mexico-Puerto Rico rivalry. It's arguably could be. Well, I mean, Miguel probably the best Puerto Rican fighter now. You can make a case that Canelo is getting up there as being one of the better Mexican fighters, and they're just two of boxing's biggest stars. It's something new. It's something that we haven't seen before. And I think it'll do well. I mean, I like fights that don't involve Mayweather, because there are other stars to be made, and this is one of them.
Beeb?
I think Vic makes a solid argument, and I wouldn't have a problem with him fighting Canelo either, but I think the fight's very intriguing with Mayweather because of the way the first fight was, and that was without Freddie Roach. And again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here and say that the trainer is 100% responsible for whatever the fighter does in the ring. But I will say this. He does respond very well to Freddie Roach. He seems more confident and relaxed with Freddie Roach. And Freddie does have him being more offensive-minded and going to the body more. So I just think the fight, because like I said, the first fight was kind of competitive. I think the second fight at a higher weight, it would be interesting. And obviously it would probably be the biggest money fight for Cotto. So I think it would do well pay-per-view wise. I just think it would be a spectacle. It would be a great event. Not that the Canelo fight wouldn't, but I just would like to see him fight Mayweather again. I'm just curious to see how he would do in a rematch. I honestly think he would beat Canelo. In my opinion, I think he would beat Canelo. I'm not saying it would be easy, but I would favor him, and I would pick him to beat Canelo. The Mayweather fight, I'd probably favor Mayweather, but there would be a shadow of a doubt in my mind. But
I want to ask you, I did see Cotto's lips moving in the corner. What was he saying? Because that was new. We never got Cotto talking, and it seemed like him and Roach were talking back and forth in the corner. Did you hear what was said?
Absolutely. Freddie was telling him things, and he was responding. Yeah, you mean I have to cut the ring off better, right? Like he was just talking with Freddie, and he was just. I've never seen him like that before. I've never seen him that happy in the corner. And then he'd be like, Freddie would say, "Oh, you're boxing beautifully." He goes, "Yeah, but I gotta, trap him more on the ropes, right?" Like he was just having dialogue with Freddie. They were kind of like talking themselves through the strategy in the corner. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like they were fighting at all. They were just kind of really vibing well together in there. And I don't know, man. It just seems like a really, really good chemistry between the two of those guys.
All right, we got some new callers that jumped on. We might as well get to them. 301, you're live in a boxing voice. Who's this? What's going on?
Ness, James, Beeb, how are y'all today?
I'm good, man. I'm doing really well.
I am. Beeb is definitely doing a lot better than me.
This is the Gringo, baby. This is the third time I've called y'all. I'm just calling just to eat my crow, man. I called last week to get my props for the George Groves and Crotch fight. So, hey, I called Martinez was going to win, but he didn't. He got his ass whooped. What can you say? But, you can never take nothing from what Sergio Martinez has ever accomplished in the ring, and that's what I feel like a lot of people are now doing, talking about, well, he beat Matthew Macklin and Chavez and stuff like that. I mean, when he was a younger fighter, there were so many really, really good fighters that were in the junior middleweight division that would not fight this guy, that did not want to see no time, no day, no nothing about him because of his style. And it just feels like people are trying to take that away from him. And I just don't agree with that, in my opinion.
Hey, brother, and you have every right to feel that way. But take this with you on the way out.
Kiss my ass,
Five-star
Seth.
review.
Kiss my ass.
Don't forget to drop us a 5-star review on iTunes. We need that,
Oh,
man. I
I
want to
did,
get over
man.
that 300 mark, and you know we're not there yet, so we need your help with that.
Oh, I
All
already
you guys
did,
out
man.
there, brother. 973, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? 973, you're live.
Yo, Ness, what's going on?
Oh, okay, hold up. Going back to you, 973, what up?
Ness, what's going on? It's Danny from the Bricks.
What up?
I know it's been a long time, man. I've been off like for months now, but I definitely had to call up. I didn't really get to hear who everybody's picks were, but you know I was definitely going with Cotto. It was more from the heart than with the mind. But after just seeing the whole build up to the fight, I just really felt like after that Murray fight, that was it for Martinez, and his ego got to him. You know, he really thought he was going to do something, and you know, like other people said, Freddie Roach just knew exactly when was the best time to get it. But I mean, I don't want to take nothing away from Cotto. Cotto looked the same way as he did when he fought Rodriguez, and you know, if he continues with that confidence, I think he can take out, you know, whoever comes his way, except maybe for Triple G, and that's about it.
All right, Danny. Damn, man. Everybody's singing the same song. Cotto's back. Cotto is a player. I mean, not too long ago, I bet you we could find clips of people on an older podcast saying it's time for Cotto to retire and shit. 757, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, yo, Ness, what up, though, man?
What up? What up?
Hey, yo, man, yo, it's QB, man, yo. Yeah, man, I'm watching this shit, yo. You sitting over there, you look like you got the puppy face, man. Don't worry about it, brother, man. Know what I mean?
Yo, I'm heartbroken, man.
I
Sergio
told you,
made me lose a lot of money, man.
Cotto gonna fuck that nigga up, man. I told you, brother. I told you, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, everybody told me, man.
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can hear me good?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I told you, man. Cole's gonna fuck that nigga up, man. And everybody making excuses for Martinez, man. He said during the training camp he's gonna be 100%, man. So Cotto won fair and square, man. A lot of these dudes, they was betting on Martinez and all that, and they don't want to own up to their shit, man. I said it from the door what was gonna happen. I told you don't bet on that shit, my dude. And it's all good, though. That's what basically all I wanted to say, man. It's all love, man. You know what I mean?
All right, QB. Thanks for calling in, brother. 443, you're live on the Boxing Voice.
Yeah, I wanted to hit this one thing up before I go, man. Look, I think motherfuckers should be shitting on Martinez because this motherfucker always want to fight little motherfuckers. He calling out Cotto. He call out Mayweather. But when they offer this nigga to fight Andre Ward and shit, he's too little. He's too little. GGG was chasing this nigga around for a couple of years. He don't want to fight, but he real quick to fight a little motherfucker. That's why I don't got no respect for this motherfucker, man. That's why I'm glad he crippled now. I'm glad he fucked.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, 'cause he want to fight little people all the time, man.
I know, but I don't want him to be crippled, man. That's too much, man. I don't want him to be crippled.
Man, I ain't saying like, man, you know I'm just...
I know. I just busted your balls.
Internet, man. We can say any fucking thing.
I'm busting your balls. I'm busting your balls.
Wheelchair, but I'm glad he fucked up because he want to fight little people all the time, man. He turned down the Andre Ward fight, his Lee DeBella, whoever his motherfucking name.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
He always want to fight. This nigga wanted to fight Pacquiao, little ass.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true.
He wanted to fight Pac. That's why I lost respect. That's why I got no respect for this motherfucker, man.
And that would have been ridiculous.
Cotto, Mayweather. But this nigga don't want to fight GGG,
or Andre Ward. Andre Ward ain't a big. You would think Andre Ward was a Klitschko size or something, man. Motherfucker ain't all that motherfucking big. He turned down those type of fights, but he want to fight these little motherfuckers. I was glad a little motherfucker whipped his ass, retired his ass. He needed his ass whipped. Always want to try to fight people that he bigger than all the time, man. Fuck him. I think another thing I want, just one more point. I think Cotto should chill out and try to fight what that nigga name? That nigga such a bum, I can't even remember his name. Kid Chocolate, Quillen. He should fight him. He should try to fight that motherfucker and beat him, unify that belt, and then fight Canelo or Mayweather. Build his shit up even more. But I think he got a chance to beat Quillen because Quillen easy as shit to hit. He easy as shit. You can close your eyes and hit this motherfucker. He always getting hit. Cotto way better boxing than this motherfucker.
I think Cotto beats Quillen.
I do too.
And sadly enough, I thought it'd be Mayweather Quillen, so Mayweather could get that 160-pound belt, but I don't know. I think Cotto beats Quillen.
It's crazy how Mayweather never took this Martinez fight, man. He must be kicking himself right now.
Yeah, shit. He'll probably still fight him. 661, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, what's happening, guys? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
First-time caller, JR from TJ. I just got to say, man, like everyone else, I wasn't expecting Cotto to do that to Martinez. But a lot of people are saying that Martinez's needs his unhealthiness played a huge part in him getting his ass beat. 1 minute into the first round, even if he was unhealthy, he was at 100%, his knees were bad. What does that have to do with him not being able to take Cotto's left hook 1 minute into the fight, the first round?
Absolutely.
Even if you say,
I think you make a good point because,
and I believe that Beeb made all sorts of valid points, and I agree with him. He was not able to take Cotto's power. So even if his knees were okay, even if he didn't get injured the way he did in his previous fight or those surgeries, he proved that he couldn't take Cotto's power. And that was the most surprising thing for me. Of course, I was surprised Cotto beat his ass so badly, but I was surprised he couldn't take Cotto's power like that. One left hook, and he just wasn't able to take it. I think definitely Cotto should fight Mayweather or Canelo within like a year. That's going to be a huge. Either one of those guys is going to be huge for all of them when it comes to making money. I think Mayweather should want to fight Cotto over Garcia, for instance. Garcia undefeated. Boxing fans know that he deserves a shot versus Mayweather, but Cotto just brings that much more money. You know, he's going to make a lot more money. Mayweather is fighting Cotto over Garcia. So I would say Garcia's out of the running. Now, I don't think he's going to be able to get a shot at Mayweather now that Cotto did this. So he's definitely the number one Puerto Rican now that should be fighting Mayweather. Canelo, that would be a gangster fight too. I think that fight, if it does happen, which I think it will, don't think it's going to happen this December when that's pretty much what Bob Arum said, that Cotto was going to be fighting again. I don't think it happens by December. It's probably going to happen like in the middle of next year. And I think Cotto should definitely move down to 154 and not fight Canelo at 160 because, well, actually, I'm kind of changing my mind. Canelo has never fought at 160, and he's not a pressure guy. He doesn't bring that Mexican style type of pressure. He just looks to counter, and I think that Cotto has proven that he's got the speed, he's got the power at 160, and Canelo's unproven. at 160, so it would be probably in Cotto's advantage to try to get Canelo up there at 160. So, yeah, I just changed my mind. I was just saying that Cotto should definitely fight Canelo at 154 because I was just going by what Freddie said, that Cotto's natural weight right now in his career is about like 155. So it would be better fighting at that weight class instead of just fighting big guys at 160. But I just changed my mind about that. And I just got to say, man, I'm glad Beeb is back. I just started listening to you guys for the first time like just 3 months ago. I'm a huge boxing fan. Been watching it for the past 15 years. I love Ness. I love B. I love Big. I love all you guys, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Well, I hope you could take a small time out to drop that same review you gave us so kindly on iTunes with a 5-star attached to it. 267, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, man? It's DJ Cruz from Philly, baby.
What's going on?
Rocking out, Ness. Not much, man. Just want to say, first of all, I want to give a shout out to B, man. He did a great job of picking that fight. Gave me a lot more confidence going into that fight because, I'm a big Cotto fan. And just to hear his analogy on it, definitely, like I say, it pretty much gave me a lot more confidence. And then you start thinking about it. You start saying to yourself, with Sergio Martinez, who he fought, and pretty much, like what Roy Jones was alluding to during the broadcast is that Margarito was able to hurt Martinez in their fight. So I'm pretty sure it gave Cotto some confidence that he had the ability to hurt Martinez also, because I think Cotto's a bigger puncher than Margarito. It's just that Margarito has a great chin when they fought. But, and like I said, it was a great win. I thought Cotto did a fantastic job. Freddie Roach is doing a fantastic job in regards to training him. And the main thing that when I look at a fight like that is the fact that not really who Cotto's fighting, it's about his technique and how he's progressing. And it's a shame that, like Bob Irwin said, that Cotto didn't hook up with Freddie Roach a lot earlier because, he looks fabulous, man. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight maybe Mayweather, maybe Canelo, whoever it may be. But it's just it's a great infusion to boxing when you see somebody who's a name like Cotto sitting there and winning a fight, and now there's a lot more options out there, in regards to more super fights where he can fight a Canelo, maybe he can fight a Bradley, and ultimately fight a Mayweather, where again it's bringing a lot more money, it's bringing attention to the sport, and it's just great, man. I think, like I said, shout out to you guys continue to do a great job. I don't call in often. I pretty much listen to a lot of the rebroadcast, whatever it may be. But you guys do a fabulous job. I just want to call in and chime in with my thoughts, man, and continue doing the job these guys are doing, Vic. Like I said, Ness, Steve, you guys rock out, man. I'm not gonna take up too much time.
Thank you as always, brother. I know that you have been a big supporter of us for a very long time. We still got some more callers, guys. 503, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, what up, guys? This is Josue from Little Oregon. Hey, so basically calling in just to eat my crow because I really thought Sergio Martinez was going to pull it off, and and I thought he was going to be the one to demolish, Miguel Cotto and Buck, man, and I just fucking called, man. I suck at picking fights, I guess, but I'm pretty much just calling those fights, Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for that. And but I got to give it out to B because when B was talking about it last Thursday, I was really like, come on, man. Like when I was listening, because I downloaded it your last Thursday show, and what I was hearing, I didn't really think that the knee problem was going to be a big factor, but I guess it was, or and a weak chin, and him always being off balance. But I don't know if now that I think about it, did you guys know if did Sergio Martinez do any sparring for this fight? Because in the 24/7, it looked like he was always just training and using the bicycle and hitting the bag I didn't see any sparring. Do you guys know if he sparred for this fight?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just want to say.
Vic, did he do a lot of sparring, Vic?
And So
Martinez?
Vic was there.
I heard very little. Very little.
That's what I heard too. Very little.
Yeah, because it did show.
He did absolutely no road work. His cardio consisted of the elliptical machine and the stationary bike. Sort of like he sort of did the Biebs regiment. You know?
All right, well, 503, man, thanks for calling in. We hope that you continue to call in. 914, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Dave again. I called back in.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I just want to address some things. I guess about the caller that said, fighting Canelo at 160. If anything, that would benefit Canelo because, he's already outgrown in junior middleweight. Like, he can't even make 154 anymore anyway. He's not even fighting Lara at 154. So 160 fight with Canelo would just help him out. The boy comes in damn near 170 or over on fight night. So that would be a tough fight for Cotto, either or. Canelo doesn't give up ground, and Cotto feeds off of people giving up ground. Even going back to when Claudio stood his ground against Cotto, usually doesn't do well against guys who stand their ground and punch with him. So, all right. So that's one thing. As far as the only bad thing about Cotto winning this title is that there's still going to be a bunch of questions at the middleweight division, and the lineal middleweight champion is not going to be fighting other middleweights. And don't get me wrong, Sergio was in the same boat. He avoided some of the guys at middleweight, mostly Triple G, but it was in the pursuit of higher paid, fights or whatever, going against smaller guys, whatever. He did fight Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. was built up or whatever, but he did fight him. But other than that, he really didn't. And then you got Barker and Macklin and such. But it's just going to be a lot of questions left in the middleweight division as far as I'm concerned. And I don't see Cotto really reigning at that point. And then you're going to have him fighting a big money fight with Canelo. Canelo's going to move up to middleweight. I guess that might be a good thing. But if he leaves junior middleweight losing to Lara or something, it's still a marketable fight if he loses to Lara. But it's still going to be the same thing. It's going to be somebody coming in that's really untested at the weight and fighting for the lineal middleweight championship, and just coming in out of nowhere. Instead, these guys are just fighting each other. Number 2, 3, 4 guys are just fighting each other round robin, and it's just a lot of questions with that. As far as people saying that Martinez never had a second gear or something like that, and I don't know what fights they ever watched of Martinez, but Martinez always used to have a second gear. He always used to, look a certain way, either through sheer will, power, whatever little technique he had, combinations, whatever, he would make the difference in the fight. And as much as I disliked Martinez for a long time, I have to even admit that Martinez would pull it out of his ass. A lot of times he would. He would do whatever he needed to do, and he would pull it out. And he did have that second gear. It's just sad to see him have the performance that he had last night, because it was actually terrible. Every time Cotto came in, he came straight in. Martinez couldn't bend at the knees. He couldn't do anything. He would basically just get hit in the face with Cotto's head, and then get hit in the body, and then into the head with a left hook on the way out. And that's exactly what happened. He couldn't bend at he couldn't do anything. He tried to pivot out, couldn't bend at the knees, could just bend at the waist. That's why he was getting cuffed behind the head and falling over. It was disgraceful. As far as what Cotto's going to do next, he's just going to go for big money fights. You can't blame him. He's only got a couple of fights left. Can't blame him for going for big money fights, but at the same time, it doesn't do the middleweight division any service. It doesn't do them any favors.
To that point, Floyd's the lineal junior middleweight champion, and I don't see him fighting there anytime soon either. So I don't know. I think Cotto can beat some of these guys at 60. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he'd fight him.
718. You're live on the Boxing Voice. 718. You're live.
Yo. Yo.
What's up?
What's good, man? I've been trying to get up in here for a minute. This is 6.
6, what up?
Where the hell's my intro at, bro?
Oh, man. Everybody want an intro. You got to call in more often.
Dude, every time I call, I'm sitting on this bitch. Yo, it's the third or fourth time I just be hanging up because it's so long. These niggas are talking about Cotto and his knees. And he talking about Martinez and his knees, but Martinez,
like 3 times.
listen. Huh?
I said I went to a 718 like 3 times trying to get you to talk, but we just kept hearing
That wasn't me.
playing in the background.
My shit is 666. My shit is 666. That wasn't me. I'm 718-666.
All right, brother.
Yo, I was the same thing that's what I was trying to get at before they started talking about it. I think Cotto should just beat Peter Quillin ass and take his belt because Quillin is garbage. Who is he for? He ain't fighting nobody.
I mean, his only fight was who? I don't know. I mean, Gabe Rosado. Who else?
And damn.
Listen, the safest route for him would be Quillin.
That's what I said.
Quillin
in Madison Square makes the most sense. Unless, you know, for whatever reason, I don't even know if this is a bigger fight or not, but Vic, Cotto going to Puerto Rico for Molina? I mean, to Mexico?
Nah.
I don't think he should do that.
No, I don't think Cotto's going to Mexico, not for fucking Carlos Molina.
What Cotto need to do is fight Kid Chocolate, take that belt from him, and then keep it pushing. There's no reason to go down and wait to fight Manny and them. He ain't ready for Triple G. Triple G gonna beat the brakes off of him. Triple G will beat his ass.
Vic,
that wouldn't even be a fair fight.
Vic, do you think that HBO puts together a package? Because let's be real, Triple G needs this fight. He's not a pay-per-view star without it. And now that Cotto beat Martinez, which is the only way that Triple G would have got some name recognition, but now it's even better because more people know Cotto than they do Martinez. I mean, does HBO shove out the big bucks to get Cotto to sacrifice himself?
I don't think so.
I don't think you want to do that.
I think you do that. I think you do that after a Canelo fight, in my opinion. I don't think you kill that fight for Golovkin. Because that fight right now, if Canelo beats Lara, he's coming off. That'll be his greatest victory. You know, it's a bigger victory than Trout, and Cotto's coming off his best victory. I don't think you kill that fight with a Golovkin, but who knows?
If I was Cotto, I would try to get other belts, man. I'd try to get that WBA or that WBC. Fuck these dudes without the belts. I would only want to fight dudes with belts. If I'm going to sacrifice myself, let me sacrifice it for something that's worth, just in case I might pull it off, I get another belt. It ain't even worth trying to fight these other dudes. I want to collect belts.
I mean, what do you got? Quillen's got what? WBO?
Champions. And Peter Quillin is the weakest. He's the weakest link. That's just my opinion, though.
All right, brother. Let me get to some other callers here, man. We got our boy Gabriel from Medellin, Colombia. Paisa, what's up?
Yo, what's goody? Can you hear me?
We
Hello?
hear you better than we ever have.
Awesome. First of all, I know it's really late, but I want to eat some crow on that Chris Arreola, Bermain Severin shit. Thank you, well deserved. But I wanna bask in this. I wanna bask in the glory of, Puerto Rico's first four-weight world champion. I just went back today and I checked the archives. I had Miguel Cotto winning. I remember vigorously arguing with Jersey Seth on the issue, mentioning Martinez's resume, Barker, Macklin, Murray, and I remember saying that none of these guys had the skills that Miguel Cotto has, and obviously, I'm just out of curiosity, who did Vic pick?
I picked Cotto at the end.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, great pick. I mean, I don't know, Ness, how you honestly thought that, 14-month layoff with, 2 knee surgeries and looking horrible in the last 13 rounds that you thought wasn't a factor, wasn't an issue. I mean, it was always going to be an issue. We can't speculate in regards to how much of it was it Miguel Cotto's improved performance or how much was it just, wear and tear on Martinez. I'm pretty sure you guys have probably covered these bases. I just got home to listen to the show. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with Miguel Cotto's performance, and I'm gonna let me also point out that I don't believe that this Miguel Cotto is the same Cotto that fought Austin Trout or that fought Mayweather, and I think this is a whole different Cotto. I think he's reinvented himself with Freddie Roach. I think this new bouncing style of boxing, it's like vintage Cotto with something else. It's just he's reborn. I mean, he's just reborn. I remember on the last show listening to be vigorously defending Miguel Cotto, about saying, about his status as a world-class fighter, and how people weren't giving him a chance. So, having said that, I'm just very happy, and people are mentioning Quillen, but let's not forget Solomon's out there. I think he's the weakest link at middleweight. What do you guys think?
I mentioned Solomon first, man. I'm glad that you noticed that. I mentioned Solomon first. He's 40. He should be 41 by the time they fight. He could get him to come over here. He's a belt holder, not a name over here, but again, it's Miguel Cotto. He could sell pay-per-views. He's going to be defending his title. The Garden will sell out again. Let's go to our last caller so far, because you could call in at 646-478-3068. Still talking Miguel Cotto. Will be for the remainder of the show because he fucking made history. He proved me wrong and a bunch of others, and there's a bunch of you guys out there that were right. 914, you're live in the Boxing Voice. Who's this? Where you calling from?
Hello?
914.
Yeah, it's me again. Dave from the Bronx.
Oh, all right, Dave. All right, we went to you. So, Vic B, what do you guys think? Sam Solomon, Peter Quillen?
I'd go Peter Quillen just because we've seen him, on HBO and Showtime. We really haven't seen Sam Solomon. Last time Sam Solomon was on US TV was a Contender, if I'm not mistaken.
And he's got a lot of movement. He gave Sturm a lot of movement. I watched that fight. I don't know if they want a guy that energetic. Peter Quillen's kind of a stationary target. He's kind of flat-footed.
I got to ask Vic a question. I thought Cotto was a free agent. Now somebody's telling me that Bob's got options on him. I don't know if that's a rumor or not. And can Cotto fight Golden Boy fighters freely, or does he have to?
Well, Cotto can fight Golden Boy fighters freely, but he's not going to make a deal with Golden Boy unless Top Rank's involved.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yesterday it was made clear by Todd DeBuff, and I can basically quote this because I said it again to James because he wasn't present at the press conference. But Todd DeBuff said that Cotto came to him and extended his hand, and he said, "Put your hand in my hand. I'm going to tell you something that my father told me." He said, "In this world, all you have is your hand and your word, and I'm giving you both. So we will do business in this manner." So there is no legal documents. Todd DeBuff made that clear using the words, "There is no legal documents," but everything points to Cotto continuing to do business with Top Rank. But again, I was really saddened not to see Oscar De La Hoya. I figured he's in the Hall of Fame. This would make a huge statement if he drove down for the fight and just was, there live. It would make a statement that this Cold War is over. He did not do that, but let's hope that he can.
But he was on Twitter talking about the fight.
Yeah, but he had obligations to do. That's why there's like a Saturday.
Yeah, but Vic, he's Oscar De La Hoya. He could take a fucking plane.
Yeah, but I mean, if Tito's not gonna come down here, then I mean, you got to do stuff when you're there. You're the one being inducted. You're not there as.
Yeah, there's a lot of ceremonial stuff that goes on. It's like there's like an itinerary down there, and you got to follow it. I think, right, Vic?
Like
Yeah.
I think it would have been a good move for a rich man to catch a chopper if he had to make a statement.
Well, he was very active talking about the fight on Twitter, though. You know, and he was talking about like who wants Canelo Cotto now. So, you know, I just want to go to one point about Bob Arum and Miguel Cotto talking about that whole situation. You know, Cotto did go off and fight Trout on the Golden Boy, and you didn't hear Arum say one bad thing about Cotto, and he still said when that happened, hey, he can still come back and do business with us. He's a free agent. We don't, you know, we still have respect for Cotto. So, you know, you could say what you want about promoters, but I think Arum obviously must have bad blood with certain people in boxing, but at the end of the day, when money is involved, he is willing to make the best deal. You know, you hear Richard Schaefer say, oh, well, he called me names, he called me this, he called me that. Who gives a fuck? I mean, how many times did King and Arum call each other names, but they still sat down and did business together? So you got to take your personal feelings and put them aside for the sake of the business. And I think Bob Arum has shown you throughout 45 years that he's willing to do that, regardless of you know, the little skirmishes he may have with people. He's willing.
They've made fights before them. You know, they've made Cotto Mosley. They made Hatton Pacquiao. You know?
So the onus isn't on Top Rank. I think it's on Golden Boy right now, and I think by getting rid of Schaefer, I think now that De La Hoya is showing that he's willing to do it. I believe De La Hoya and I believe Arum. I mean, obviously, they're not going to sit there and co-promote every single fight, but if there's a big fight to be made, then I think they'll put 100% effort going forth to try to make the fight. I don't think you'll have the bickering as much, and that's why I'm kind of happy that Schaefer's gone.
Well, we got a new caller, and let's see if I'm good with numbers. I believe this may be one of our alumni callers that usually calls in from time to time. Always has really good picks. Let's hope that I'm right.
They call me Black Superman.
I'm grimacing in
What's going on, fellas? Black Superman in the building.
What up, brother? I finally got it right.
Yeah, you got it right. Hey, I'm calling in, like I said, the first tweet I put out this morning is who has a good recipe for crow? You know, what's a good side dish with it? I was one of the people that I couldn't see Cotto winning this fight, barring, whatever, regardless, I didn't see him winning in the manner that he did. So, I mean, much props to him, and I really wanted to keep this day all about Cotto because he deserves it. But, I mean, everybody keeps bringing in, well, Mayweather and Pacquiao didn't step up and take the fight. I mean, why do that? Why are we putting their names out there? These guys didn't take the fight, so why even give them that mention? Why even give them that mention? Let's talk about what Cotto did do. So, I mean, that's kind of bothered me today that everybody keeps wanting to say that, this, that, and the third about that. Let's just keep the focus on, what Cotto did inside that ring last night, which, I mean, nobody can say was not an amazing performance. Another thing, I mean, you guys go to the press conferences, correct? I mean, a lot of these times with Bob Arum and these guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Ness and Vic do, yeah.
Yeah, so like, why does nobody in the press conference call Arum on his shit, man? I mean, he's a hell of a promoter, but everything does not always go back to Floyd Mayweather, and it just seems like after every big fight he has, that's the name he floats out there to kind of grab a little more attention for his fight. Well, he would never do this, and I would have to kidnap his daughter and hold her for ransom to get him. Quit doing that shit, man. If you want to make the fight, make the fucking fight. I'm tired of hearing that after every fight, every time Pacquiao fights, providing the call fights or whatever it is, keep throwing the man's name out there. If you're not going to do business with him, leave that shit alone, man. I'm tired of hearing about Pacquiao, Mayweather, and all that shit. The shit's not going to happen. I mean, all of them can shut the fuck up as far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, I mean, back to what I was saying, man. That was an amazing performance. I really have no idea where Sergio Martinez goes from here. I really kind of feel bad for him because the years where he was kind of in his hey, he came around late in the game as it was, and the years where he was kind of doing his thing, he couldn't get any of these big name fighters to get in the ring with him. And now that he's at, at that twilight, he finally gets that shot, and he's not able to pull it off. So I kind of feel bad for him because he's never going to see the money that he probably should have seen in his career with the talent level that he had at, for that short window. So, I mean, that's basically what I got for you guys, man. But somebody needs to start calling, and not just Aaron, like all these guys. Call them on that shit. Don't just go and write a, article about it. Call them at that press conference. I know it's about access. A lot of people are scared to get their access removed and stuff, but somebody needs to start calling them on that shit, bro. That's what I got for you fellas.
All right. We got a bunch of other calls here. 646-478-3068. Pressing 1 gets you in the queue and allows you to voice your opinion. 973. You're
off the rim. It's a free ball. Duncan the rebound. Outlet pass. Parker under it. Slides to the.
He's watching basketball. 757. You're live in the boxing voice. Who's this?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? This is Timbo from VA.
What up, Timbo?
Not much, man. I definitely called in to eat my crow, man. Like, I thought Sergio was going to ice Cotto, but, I mean, Cotto did his thing, and it's probably about that time for Sergio to probably hang it up. But my question is for you guys, do you think with the whole Schaefer and Golden Boy thing going on, do you think now you could see a Peter Quillen fighting a Golovkin now, being that Oscar is willing to do business with Arum?
Well, I see a Peter Quillen Cotto before I see Golovkin. I don't see why Oscar would do business with K2 Promotions when they don't get anything out of it. They have a better option doing business with Bob, and if they're going to sacrifice a champion, they'll probably be like, all right, we'll do, Quillen Cotto with Big Dow, Leo Santa Cruz on the undercard, something like that. But why would they sacrifice Peter Quillen to Golovkin and get nothing in return?
I got you. I mean, I will accept that. The Cotto and Quillen fight, because I mean, do you all feel that Schaefer and being that Schaefer and Floyd Mayweather has something against Arum, and Oscar is willing to be flexible to work with him? Do you think those two guys are the reason why we're not getting those fights that we want?
Well, it's been too soon since Schaefer left. That remains to be seen what's going to happen moving forward. But, you could say what you want about Bob Arum always doing in-house fights, but he's the one that's working with DeBella. He's the one that's working with Banner Promotions. He's the one, doing other things. He's putting his fighters out there and having his fighters fight other guys from different promotional companies. We haven't seen Golden Boy do that in recent years. So, I mean, I'm sure they've done it, but not to the extent that Arum's done it recently. So, as I said before, I think the onus is on Golden Boy now. I think Top Rank has shown their hand. They've told you what they're going to do, and they've kind of proved to you what they're going to do. And as I've said, not to beat a dead horse, but Bob has always done what makes business sense, regardless of who he's working with. He'll call you an asshole one day, and he'll shake your hand the next to get the deal done. So we have to see what Oscar's really going to do if he's going to put his money where his mouth is.
Well, let's just go down to the undercard. Wilfredo Vasquez, man, he lost again, dude.
Very, very competitive fight. I thought Sansona kind of outworked him. Had some moments in there, but you have to just look at the situation with Vasquez Jr. He seems like he's very unstable. He's another guy that doesn't have a consistent trainer in the corner, and he just seems like he's a little bit distraught in there. Doesn't know how to maintain the focus and sustain a game plan throughout the whole course of the fight. And he shows flashes of good things, but he just can't do it consistently throughout the fight. So I don't know, man. I mean, he can still beat some good guys, but he just has to kind of really focus and get a good team around him, don't you think?
Hey, Beeb, you being from Boston's, when's St. Patty's Day? Because Andy Lee was on the undercard. Maybe St. Patty's Day in the Garden, Cotto, Lee.
When is St. Patrick's Day? St. Patrick's Day is always on March 17th.
Oh, so they would have to wait too long for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking of ways that they can just sell Cotto as an A-side, do the Mayweather thing. I think that's the smartest option at this stage of his career, and then wait, just get a few good easy wins, make some good money, and wait to see what happens with Canelo or Mayweather.
Well, speaking of Andy Lee, what did you think of him at 154 yesterday? That was surprising to me.
He looked good, man. I mean, 160 probably was the bad thing for him. My question is, can he continue to make this weight and look good?
I mean, he's 6'2". He's kind of a big guy. I don't know. He kind of looked a little frail to me at junior middleweight. I'm not so sure I'm happy with that move, but I don't know, man. He's an older fighter too. I don't like older fighters. He's not old, but he's kind of getting up there, and he's in his 30s. So I don't like guys that are in their 30s dropping down in weight. I'm just not happy about the move. I'm a little skeptical about the move.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that's basically it. We ran through our long list of calls. Actually, before we go, I do want to give Robbie an opportunity to just talk to everybody that's spewed so much hate his way, and make sure that he was correct, because people are saying they've gone back and heard the podcast, Robbie, and you picked Martinez. Someone went as far as to send me your quote. So
no, Ness, I don't know what they're listening to, because look, I call in every single week. Have you guys ever heard me waffle on a pick?
No, I haven't. That's why I wanted to get you back on.
In fairness, Robbie, I heard you say you were picking Cotto, and I'm gonna be
First of all, I have never waffled on a pick. When I decide to pick a fighter, I stick with it, whether I win or whether I lose. And there was no fucking way Wood or anybody else that I would have ever picked Sergio Martinez to beat Miguel Cotto. I don't know what the hell you guys are listening to. Are you smoking too many trees? I mean, for God's sakes, this is a boxing podcast. You're not supposed to come on here and call people liars and make up things about them when I have always been consistent and said, who I'm going to pick. I mean, hell, a couple of weeks ago when Ness had internet issues, I filled in as one of the hosts, and I'm going to do that more in the future whenever they ask me to, But I am not going to waffle on my selections. I picked Miguel Cotto, and that's who I chose. And with this Laura Canelo fight, I'm like Beeb. I'm picking Laura, but it would not surprise me if Canelo wins. But my choice is Laura. So, again, mark the tape. Pay attention to what I got to say. My pick for Canelo Laura is Laurie Laura. And as I said when I was on here earlier, Cotto has got multiple options. I like every fight that's mentioned here. He can take any of those fights. But you know what? He's going to be able to write his own ticket. He's going to be able to make his own choice. And I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be disappointed with anything that he chooses, because they're all good fights.
All right, Robbie. Well, thanks for clearing that up. Anyone else that disagrees with that, you're going to have to make an MP3 soundbite and email it to us so that we could play it on the show.
We have a defamation of character suit brewing right here as we speak.
Absolutely. We don't lie on our callers and listeners. Guys, I want to thank you all for, of course, tuning in, and everyone that continues to support us. I've paid all my bets. So, fall the fuck back. I've eaten my crow. I was wrong. Beeb was fucking right. This rivalry has not ended. There's still a lot more fights. I know I'm doing bad this year. And Vic, I have to say, with last week and this week, you're probably ahead of everyone. But Beeb and I have been talking back, we talked a few times off air, and we need to start writing these things down. And we're going to hold people liable for their picks. We're coming up with...
That's why I like to do the staff predictions for big fights. Maybe we should do them for every weekend.
What we could start doing is just having, a list of people who make picks every week and kind of just keep stats. We used to have, a fantasy boxing contest, when I was with Rope-A-Dope Radio. I mean, we don't have to do something to that nature. But if we're going to... we should just set a date and say, hey, we'll start our prediction league right now, and I mean, I can keep a tally of it, and I can even put it on a website or make an article about it, and just put out newsletters periodically, just to keep everyone up to date on who picked who, and keep everyone's records intact. But I think we should document it, and I'm not opposed to being the guy that documents it. I don't care. I'll do that.
We just
do that
got
second half of the year.
Yeah, we'll do the second half of the year. We could start it because it's fun. You know, it's friendly. I know people talk shit or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's fun. You know what I mean?
We just got another caller. Let's go to 440. 440, you're
Hey,
live.
Ness.
Who's this?
Hey, Ness is a big boxing fan from Cleveland. I just want to say I really appreciate your show. Watch it every Sunday. And I just want to give a big shout out to Willie Nelson with that first round TKO. I was really impressed by that. I didn't expect that out of him.
Yeah, Willie Nelson, man. Unfortunately, we couldn't see him and Andy Lee get at it for whatever reason, but we seen them separately. Yeah, man. You know, we want to see some more of them. We know that Kirkland turned that fight down.
Yeah. What do you think? And I know this was 2 weeks ago. I just want to know what you thought of Javier Fortuna with his win.
I actually didn't finish watching it. Me and James were watching it Friday night. We watched a bunch of fights. It was awesome. James was here in the city, and we caught up on some tape. But we didn't get through that whole fight, so I can't fully assess it. But from what I hear, he won, but he didn't look as great. He had a big black eye or something like that.
He looked vulnerable, but I mean, there's still a lot of upside to this kid. I mean, he can definitely fight, no question. But you know, he's got a few things to work on. You know, he's a little rough around the edges, but he does have the fundamentals. He has a good, solid base. I mean, he's quick. He knows how to use distance. He's a sharp puncher. He's just got to bend his knees a little bit, and he's got to pace himself a little bit better. But he can fight.
Yeah. I just want to hear your opinion on that. But I just want to say appreciate your show. Tune in every Sunday, and thanks a lot.
Hey, man, by the way, we go on Thursdays as well, Sundays and Thursdays.
Sundays and Thursdays? All right.
Yeah.
Same time, too.
Let me get, you know, Barbara to do her job.
Join us every Thursday and Sunday, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Tea and crimpets later. But basically, I guess this has been the show. I do want to say again one big thank you to everyone that's given us some iTunes reviews. Actually, I want to read one from a long-term listener. Vic, you know him. We met up with him once at Bethlehem in PA for one of the Rosado fights. It's Healy D. And he says, I've been a fan of the show since RTG. For those that don't know, RTG is Robert the Genius. Since RTG was drunk arguing with boxers, TBV has helped me transition into a casual fan to an absolute boxing junkie. Without TBV, I would probably would not have made it through half the Mondays at work that I do. Vic is my guy, brings great perspective, except that he's a Giants fan. Ness, who I rarely agree with, is about as passionate as they come, and Beeb and James bring knowledge, wit, and experience. And when Mario is out of hibernation, he just adds to the overall excellence of the show. I can't be more complimentary. Keep going. Us hardcore boxing fans need you. Signing out, Healy D. 5-star review. He placed it on my birthday, and I wanted to shout that one out. Thank you very much. And we got another caller. 832, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, this is Jack from Texas. How's it going?
What's going on, Jack? Talk to us.
No, I've been a long-time listener, but I just wanted to say, you know, props up to Miguel Cotto, but, you know, on a side note, I just want to say I got a shitty job and whatnot. The only bright day that I have is, you know, Thursdays and Sundays when I hear the Boxing Voice. You know, no matter, you know, I work a hard day, I'm tired and whatever, but, you know, something that makes me smile is just hearing you guys. And I really appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, my friend. We thank you very much for those kind words. Absolutely. It definitely means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to my co-host.
No, you know, because I'm just a regular guy, and I hate my job and whatnot, but sometimes the only bright star I got in my day is hearing you guys, because I love boxing, and, you know, that sometimes, you know, I have a rough day or whatever, but, you know, the happy part of my day is just listening to you guys, and I really appreciate it. I just wanted to say that.
Well, thank you very much, man. I always feel cheerful. You got a smile on my face that we bring you, not only entertainment, but we brighten up your day. And for everyone else that listens like that, again, thank you. Big thank yous, man. We wouldn't be here doing this if it weren't for you guys. And just continue to rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Hopefully we'll get a breakthrough with that. And everyone who continues to support us by, clicking on our affiliate links at theboxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors that continues to donate. Don't forget that we got this Canelo Alvarez glove coming up once that fight helps to build up. And we got the Ruslan glove, which should be going out this Sunday, right, Vic? That fight is Saturday, correct?
That fight is a Saturday. Yep.
That fight is Saturday, so it's only been a few guys that have entered. So the less people, the easier you win, guys. The more people, the more chances, the less chances you have of winning. So those that have donated, hey, you're gonna get this boxing glove signed by Ruslan Pavatnikov, who's probably gonna be a champ for a very long time. And after that 2-day portrait with a fighter of Ruslan, I am a total fan. But again, continue to give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Continue to click on that Audible link, man. We don't want to lose Audible the way we lost Amazon. So we need you guys, the listeners. Remember, when I was buying this house, there was a lot of complaining that the consistency wasn't there. We're back 2 days a week. No other boxing podcast does that. So just show your appreciation by using our affiliate links. It's absolutely free. You receive a new title in boxing or any subject that you want. You don't even have to read it or read it to you. You don't even have to use it. It's free to do it, so you'll just be supporting us. And we got another caller, 470. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, what's going on, Ness? This is Chaz, man. I wanted to try to see if I could catch you guys beforehand. I am at home here in Caguas, Puerto Rico. Of course, I watched the fight with a bunch of Puerto Ricans, and I couldn't say what was really on my mind. Which is I thought Sergio was going to win and annihilate him, but I'm very happy that Cotto beat him. I can't help but think, though, that dude is just hurt, and, he's just trying to last and make that money and keep on rolling, man. And but, really happy for Cotto. It put some life back into him, and look forward to seeing his other, some of these future fights that this kind of set up, man. That's about it, dude.
All right, Chaz. Thanks for calling in. That's Chaz, man, a long-term listener, long-time supporter, brother. Well, I guess that's it, man. I am your host, NesGTO. You can always find me on Twitter at NesGTO, and my great co-host, Victor Salazar, at
Boxing Voice _Vic.
And the mastermind, the fucking genius himself. This fight is not over. I'm a survivor. I'm a Spartan. So I'm going to keep fighting with Vic, but he was right again. He's starting to be fucking Brainiac over here from Superman. You could catch him at
J Habib 1, baby.
This has been the Boxing Voice. Be sure to use the hashtag Boxing Voice anytime you're live on the show. Oh, actually, my guys in the chat can't forget you. See, you didn't remind me, but I remember you. Ari Gold, shout out to you, my friend. Ari, shout out. B, of course you get a shout out. You're a fucking host. Cedric Sports, shout out to you. Goon28, big shout out to you. Love the screen name. Guest 2459, F you for not making fucking username. So we're moving on, skipping all those guests. Beeb's favorite stalker, Gustavo. No, what is it? Gustagook.
Gustagook.
Dwyer. Improvision. James Grill. Shout out to James Grill. Called in and he's also in the chat. Big shout out. Jasmine Guy, shout out. Jaspi Chi or Japan Spi? I don't know, man. Jaspan Chi. And Juggernaut. And Killer Sean. KM Star. Who else we got here? And more freaking usernames. Oh, no, wait, we got more. Mr. Jordan. NC Money. And Neo Angel. Nothing for Stunting. Raw Nature. The 177, Rav Full of Boxing. And I think that is it for tonight. Yo, Gustagook is really getting at you in that chat, bro. I just seen some.
Yeah, you just gotta ignore that dude, man. I think he's got some issues.
He must love you, man, because when you're gone, they cry for the beeps to be back. He's to the show, man.
He says shit about you in there too, man. He was talking about you earlier, so.
I gotta definitely start taking Beeb's advice now because I'm in the hole and I gotta get out the hole because when I'm in the hole, I'm in the doghouse. If I'm in the doghouse, I'm on the couch. I gotta get back in my bed. We lost too much money this weekend. Someone's got to die. Boxing Voice every Thursday, every Sunday, 7 p.m. We love you. Later.
Thank you for using